Oh, can you send me that lineup card?
Maybe.
I'd appreciate it if you sent me that lineup card.
So I sent it to the boys in the Boone.
Yeah. Welcome into Damaski Field here in Oneonta, New York. The wait is finally over. It's been 3 days since the Boonville Lumberjacks took the field due to off days, rain delays, and everything in between, but finally we've got some baseball here. I'm Evan Simbita alongside Brady Foxwell for the matchup, and it should be a good one here tonight. Last time these two teams faced off, it was the Boonville Lumberjacks losing by 2 runs, but it was a grand slam off the bat of Chris Florentino that was the difference for the Outlaws in that game. Hopefully this should be a lot closer one, but a little bit of a different profile on the mound tonight for the Lumberjacks, Brady. It's Eric Shepard.
Yeah, Eric Shepard, one of the newer guys. His second start of the season was supposed to go on Wednesday, but of course we rained out that game. Ultimately didn't get to play, and well, I'm sure he's been ready to get on the bump for a while now. We were a little scared earlier when it was pouring rain here. It's bright and sunny. Both of us have sunglasses on, really, but no, Eric Shepard, I'm excited for what he can pull out of his bag tonight. One of the newer arms, of course, for the Lumberjacks, and an arm that they are yet to see as 7.71 ERA in college, and only 2.1 so far in the season, but now's an opportunity for him to buckle down and help out the Lumberjacks get back in that win column that they so desperately need.
Yeah, it's been back and forth here today with rain and some cloudy gray skies that we saw as Canisius Davis steps in. He's the first batter of the game for Boonville. We weren't sure if this game was even going to happen, but luckily for us, the skies cleared up and they were able to get the field cleared here. First pitch is up high for a ball. Want to know the count on Davis. Davis from Alcorn State, the Division I HBCU. Here's the next pitch. Swung on and hit foul, back and out of play. That one escapes over the Boonville dugout. Last time we saw Davis was in the Saugerties game on June 13th. Had 2 at-bats, was able to draw 2 walks, but that was it from the sophomore.
Yeah, a lot of this Lumberjack team had the day off in their last contest at Glens Falls, and
as the 1-1 hits Davis square in the back, he tried to get out of the way, but can't escape it. So Canisius Davis has a free pass. He's the first man on in this game for the Lumberjacks, and that brings up the right fielder, Wyatt Lassiter.
Lumberjacks will take that for sure. I mean, even though we did see Ventimiglia warming up right next to us, he does have a high-profile fastball, high 80s to low 90s, so it's going to hurt. Lumberjacks, of course, have a 2-hour bus ride back home to Boonville. Might sting for a little bit, but if he comes around to score here, I think Davis is the type of player who'll take that every time.
So the right fielder Lassiter stands in. First pitch on him is in there for a called strike. Lassiter did play in that last game against Glen Falls, had just 1 hit, which was a double. No RBIs on the day for him and a walk.
Yeah, and that double, I thought it was going to leave the yard. He just got wall-balled right there. Not quite all of it. And I'm sure he's looking to do some more damage at the plate today, especially now that he has a runner on, Canisius Davis.
Swings and fouls the 0-1 back behind the Boonville dugout. It's quickly 0-2 now. The starting pitcher for the Outlaws is Patrick Ventimiglia.
Yeah, St. Joseph's University, not too far from here, righty, about 6'5", 220, very big frame on him, and I don't have him in my book so far.
Lassiter swings and misses on the 0-2. He goes down on 3 pitches, and that's the first out of the game for the Lumberjacks. That brings up the next hitter in the order, Michael Clarkson.
But in his college stats, Ventimiglia had a 17.18 ERA, and again, I don't think college ERAs, especially for freshmen, are that important. I don't look at them too seriously, but he had some high leverage games. He pitched against Delaware, Penn, St. Bonaventure, VCU, and at Rhode Island, so they weren't throwing out there for meaningless games.
Clarkson swings and misses on the first pitch. Off speed got him.
A bad start in the first 3 outings that kind of cooked his ERA, if you will. 3 earned in 1.2, and then it was 2 earned in 1.1 in his pitch, and then 3 in the pitch after that. After that, he settled down and was much better for the rest of the season.
Clarkson ready for the 0-1. Here it is. Swings and breaks his bat. Hits this one right up the middle. Over there for 2, and the double play is in time. Michael Clarkson grounds into a double play to end the inning, and the Lumberjacks go down in 3 batters. That's it here for the top of the first. We'll have Eric Shepard on the other side of the break. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. Back here in Oneonta, the leadoff hitter for the Outlaws, Nolan Stark today, the designated hitter. Hopes to get things going for his team against Eric Shepard, the pitcher out of Kalamazoo College. First pitch is swung on and missed. Fastball was blown past him, 0-1 the count.
Yeah, Stark, one of the premier hitters on the team, 444 average. That's, well, he's 4 for 9 to start the season, so he doesn't get playing time every day, but when he does, he makes the most of it. And well, most of those are singles, no RBIs, no homers. He also has grabbed 4 walks in that time as well, so he gets on base well over half the time. And the premier guy for this Oneonta team.
2 straight pitches missed. The count moves to 2-1. The pitcher for the Lumberjacks, Eric Shepard today, the righty. Only one previous appearance so far for him this year. That was on June 9th against Utica. Only pitched 2 1/3 innings for 8 hits, 3 walks, and 9 earned runs. Stark hits this one through the middle of the infield, and that gets down for a hit. Smith picks it up and gets it back to the cutoff man, Davis, but it's still a leadoff single for Nolan Stark, and that brings up the backstop, Matthew Meyer.
Well, there you go. That brings his average to a perfect 500 now that he's 5 for 10. So I'm sure he'll find more playing time as the season goes on if he continues to have production the way that he has. And, you know, Evan, one thing that I'm seeing here is that the Oneonta Outlaws don't have Blake Fortunato hitting today. That was the guy who hit a grand slam and kind of, I don't want to say single-handedly, but I remember we spoke to CG after the game, Coach Christian Griffin, who was upset about that one pitch that was hit for a grand slam to pretty much effectively lose the Lumberjacks that game. Not in the lineup today.
First pitch is outside for a ball there on Mayer. The catcher, Young, stands up and surveys the infield. Last time out against the Outlaws, it was Jonathan Tetzloff who went 5 innings for 5 earned runs. They don't have him today. He's injured as Shepard picks back, but not in time.
No, it's the rotator cuff for Tetzloff. Was talking to him out of that D2 pitcher out of Norwich University, and he was the premier inning eater on the team. He had over 12 pitched for the team. That was almost double what anybody else was, and that's a loss that really hurts this Lumberjack bullpen.
Mayer swings and hits this one, but that gets foul and out of play. Count moves to 1-1. Mayer batting just .241 so far this year. He's played in 11 games for the Outlaws. Frequently at that backstop position. He's started 8 of them. Here's the 1-1 from Shepard. Inside, Mayer has to move out of the way, and that one called for a ball. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, and the absence of Tetzloff is one thing that kind of hurts this Lumberjack bullpen. And That's kind of been the story of the season so far, is the arms are hurt. But with the amount of off days that they've had, is that really an excuse anymore?
Shepard picks back once again. That one a lot closer, but the runner, Stark, still back in there safe. And I think it is an excuse, especially when you have 6 now healthy arms on this entire team. I mean, especially when you're playing as much as the Lumberjacks are, I mean, it's still definitely necessary to have those arms. Next pitch is swung on and hit back and out of play. Count remains 2-2. Shepard out of the Division III MIAA school, Kalamazoo. Over there for his junior year, had 4 appearances. None of them went over 1 inning. Only had 3 runs, with 2 of them being earned and 4 strikeouts. Here's the 2-2. And that one, they'll say it hit him. So a second hit by pitch in 2 innings. This one on Matthew Mayer, and runners on first and second for PJ Strand.
Yeah, not the ideal way to start. I feel like I say this every game, not the ideal way to start the game for the Lumberjacks. First 2 reaching, first one was a ground ball to the right side from Nolan Stark. He hit it hard, and there was RJ Lopez tried to make a play on it, ultimately clean single, no disputes there. But here for Matthew Mayer to miss up and in, it's, they really want to limit the free bases. That's one thing they were talking about. I mean, single-digit free bases is the goal today.
But Strand shows bunt. It's down. Ferguson picks it up, but no throw. So the bases are loaded now. An infield hit for PJ Strand, and that brings up Vincent Duffy. Bases loaded, no outs here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, they called bunt. RJ Lopez, Tanner Ferguson both move in to play it. Davis, he doesn't play second base too often, and that might be the reason for the lapse of air there, but he goes to cover second base whilst Negron is already there, so no one covers first base, and it's a mishap, but PJ Strand now gets on, and his bases loaded with no outs early for the Oneonta Outlaws.
Duffy, a 300 hitter this year, definitely someone you'd want in this situation. First pitch by Shepard is up high for a ball, 1-0 the count. He's also tied for the team lead in RBIs with 6. Next, likes to draw the walk as well with 5. He's the perfect man for this situation if you're Oneonta, but if you're the Lumberjacks, got to set him down right here. 0-1 pitch is swung on and hit into shortstop Negron. Throw over to first is in time. That one was tough to see.
Double play ball.
We're sitting here. The sun is directly in our eyes, so can't see much of anything.
Yeah, I saw that one pretty well. 6-4-3, Elijah Negron, way to turn that one. And got to give props to RJ Lopez at first, who dug that one out of the dirt. So a run scores, but he won't be credited with the RBI because it was a double play ball. And given after what just happened to start the game, I think the Lumberjacks take 2 outs and 1 run scored in that situation.
So it's 1-0 Oneonta. Runner still on third as that first pitch on Colton Penner hits him. So a second hit by pitch in this inning. Runners on the corners now. 2 outs for Stephen Clark.
Yeah, second hit by pitch. I mean, when Christian Griffin said that he wanted to limit walks, I'm sure that also included hit by pitches, and any free pass really. And the goal today was under 5. Specifically was single digits after the performance that they had on Wednesday, but looking for single-digit walks today, ideally under 5, but with 2 in the first inning, I'm not sure how feasible that goal is.
So Clark, a 174 hitter, steps in now. Eric Shepard looking to escape the bases-loaded jam with just 1 run of damage.
Yeah, Clark is 4 for 23 on the season. This is the guy you go after. Throw it over the plate, let him hit it.
First pitch is swung on and hit to the first baseman, Lopez. He takes it over the bag himself and gets the out in time, so the Oneonta Outlaws leave 2 stranded here, but do plate 1. They're on top 1-0 heading into the top of the second. We'll be right back. Back here at Damaski Field, sun is almost down, but still just peeking in over the trees. Here in Oneonta, first batter is Marcus Smith here for the Lumberjacks, down 1-0 here in the top of the second.
Yeah, sun's directly in my eyes now. Now I cannot see anything at all.
I really can't see too much either, to be honest, Brady.
Not the ideal setup for guys on radio, I gotta say.
Patrick Vientamilla throws and swing and a miss on that first pitch.
I think.
Quickly down 0-1. Yeah, I think. There's no real way to tell.
Yeah, well, if you focus on right center field, I'll focus on left center. I think we'll just hope the ball's not hitting the infield.
Smith down 0-1 here. Here's the pitch. And that one up high, 1-1 the count. Last game out for the right fielder. 3 at-bats, 1 walk, but did strike out twice. That was against Glen Falls a couple days ago in that 20-4 loss for the Lumberjacks. Here's the 1-1 from Vientamilla. Swung on and hit into left field, and the center fielder made a diving catch right there. I honestly couldn't see that one off the bat, to be honest with you, but a great catch by P.J. Strand out there in center robs Marcus Smith of a hit.
Yeah, I got to say, I was actually looking towards right center field right there. That's where I thought that one was heading. But it was P.J. Strand who came a very long way to make that play, moving to his right to make the play in left center field, and it was a sliding catch absolutely necessary there. And, well, I'm not fully sure that Rao was able to back him up there either. So if he doesn't make that play, it's extra bases written all over that, but he does, and instead it's 1 out here in the top of the second.
Third baseman Tanner Ferguson swings and misses on that first pitch. He's down 0-1. Ferguson hasn't played since the Saugerties game. That was 6 days ago, where he had 2 strikeouts and no hits. Swings and misses on that one as well, down 0-2 now.
Yeah, as helpful as these off days can be for the Lumberjack arms, the hitters, they don't get live at-bats other than game time. So what the Lumberjacks have not a great batting average, pretty much only above the Outlaws in the East here, and well, it's hard to get the bats going when you're playing as infrequently as they are.
The 0-2 is outside on Ferguson. Count moves to 1-2. Ferguson's last game was the first game of the entire season that he didn't get a hit, and also the first game that he had multiple Ks in over a week. He's had some time to think about that performance, but he's down to his last strike here in this one. Vientamilla readies and fires the 1-2, and it hits him. So Tanner Ferguson gets on. He comes back from being down 0-2, and he leads the team in hit by pitches this year with 5 and gets his 6th right there. He certainly loves to eat one and gets him on base right there.
We'll take that for sure. No complaints on that side. Runs inside, especially down 0-2, a guy that hates striking out. As you mentioned it, his first game with multiple Ks was against Saugerties just the other day, and well, he hates striking out, and I'm sure he'll take, a little bit of a bruise. I believe that hit him on the arm.
Looked like it.
Upper arm. He'll take a bruise on the arm if it means that he gets on base.
Time called by the designated hitter, Masai Marshall. He's the next batter up for the Lumberjacks. Originally out of Northwestern University, but transferring. Didn't get a lot of play time there. Didn't have any ABs as a freshman and only 2 as a sophomore. So looking for somewhere where he can get some more tread. First pitch is in the dirt. Ferguson runs from first to second. He's in there sliding as the throw is into center field. Ferguson hustling to third now, and he is in there standing. So a stolen base and an error as that one gets past the pitcher as well. It's still in the infield, but eventually picked up by the pitcher Vientamilla.
Yeah,
and
no
Tanner
one was
Ferguson
able to hold that ball as the throw was airmailed into center field. Center fielder Strand bobbled it for a second before throwing it into the infield, where it was bobbled yet again, but for extra 180 feet for Tanner Ferguson now, and just like that, a hit by pitch turns into a good RBI opportunity, and there's only 1 out here in the inning.
Masai Marshall, just 2 RBIs on the season for him so far, but 1-0 the count here with a runner on third, just 1 out in the inning. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit into center field. That one's down at the track, and that's going to be extra bases. The runner Ferguson scores walking, and Masai Marshall rounds second. He's going to try and go for third, and he's in there standing with a triple. That one absolutely hit to the deepest part of center field, and Masai Marshall is second triple of the year.
Yeah, back-to-back games with triples, and he's been a very clutch hitter here for the Lumberjacks. Only his third game played, just got here last week, but he's had at least a hit in every game so far. And the last game he played against Glens Falls, he had an opposite field triple that looked pretty similar to that one. And right here, he just grabbed another one. That one dead center, really over the center fielder Strand's head. And it's an RBI opportunity. And Messiah Marshall, he's having an incredible start to the summer so far.
That one just hit over the head of the center fielder Strand, and Cy Marshall's got elite speed. He easily got to third on that one. Next batter is Elijah Negron. He just took that one, had to lift the arms up to get out of the way. 1-0 the count on him. Negron was the first ever A-Town Bats hitter of the week for his performances in the last calendar week. As here's the pitch. Checks on that one. It's in the dirt. 2-0 the count now.
Yeah, Negron has been hitting the ball really well recently, no secret. He didn't hit a home run at Glens Falls, which is kind of surprising, really. He got a hold of one almost. It was a fly out to the track, but he's looking to stay hot at the plate and catch more barrels for the Lumberjacks.
He's ahead 2-0 here. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing on that one. They'll say he went, so 2-1 the count.
And what he told me is he wasn't looking for home runs either. He's just trying to barrel the ball as hard as he can. And, well, when you do that, good things happen. And in his case, it's resulted in 3 jacks in a week.
Yentamilla fires the 2-1, and that one in the dirt again. 3-1 the count now. In that performance last week, he had 10 at-bats for 5 hits, one of them being a double, the other 3 for home runs, and then 7 RBIs, 4 walks, while just striking out twice. That's been where he's been the best this year, slugging the ball. He leads the team with almost a .700 slugging percentage and looks to continue that here. Runner on third, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back and out of play.
Yeah, and the Outlaws infield is entirely playing in this early in the game. They don't want to let Marshall score on any type of ground ball. So if you're Negron here, I imagine he's just trying to get a ball to the outfield. Corners play pretty deep here. It's 335 down the line, respectively, to left and right. Center plays deep as well.
Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and hit into right field, and that one gets down, but is it on the right side of the line? They'll say it is foul. That one looked tough to tell, but that one a close one, and the count remains full.
Impossible to tell from our angle. Looked like a fastball, and the ground takes it the opposite way, and I guess it must be fouled down the line, but if he can replicate that but straighten it out a little bit, he'll take that because that was at least a double, and the way he hit it all the way to the corner in right field, he would have been on third standing the same way that Marshall was.
Yeah, marked 335 to the corners, but looks quite a lot deeper than that as they get ready for the full count pitch yet again.
It's a beautiful ballpark, really, Damaski Field. I'm loving the views that we're getting here.
Here's the pitch. Takes that one inside for a called third strike. He started walking to first base. He thought it was a walk, but called out on the fastball right there, and there's 2 outs in the inning. That brings up the first baseman, Argenis Lopez.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. 1 out there. You really trying to get a ball to the outfield for a potential sac fly. Goes down looking there. It's about the worst feeling as a hitter and not a great outcome. But here's RJ Lopez. He's got one of the premier hitters on the team as well, batting much later in the lineup. He's hitting 8th today.
First pitch, swings and fouls that one to the backstop. 0-1 the count. Lopez out of Wabash Valley College, just graduated from the JUCO, out of the Division I JUCO circuit, originally from New York City, all the way down in the Bronx.
Yeah, the latest we've seen him hit in the lineup is 5, and he's only moved up since then. 7 today is a little interesting, especially because his on-base percentage is almost .500.
0-1 is in there for a strike. The off-speed was just dropped in there, and the infield quickly backs off to the outfield grass. They're no longer shifted in on Lopez. Runner still stuck on third is Marshall. 0-2 the count. 2 outs here for Argenis Lopez. Here's the pitch from Yentamilla. That one inside, 1-2 the count on Lopez.
Yeah, and these are the things that the Lumberjacks really want to limit. Obviously strikeouts, but if you have a runner on third and 1 out, statistically, let's say he scores 70% of the time. Too often for the Lumberjacks, that runner doesn't come around to score, and Messiah Marshall is at risk of being stranded here at third. So Lumberjacks really want to get that extra insurance here if possible.
1-2 is swung on and hit into center field. Strand ranging in on it, but no one gets it. This one's in the gap. The runner, Masai Marshall, scores from third, and R.J. Lopez is in there with an RBI single, only his second RBI of the season.
Yeah, hard hit, a little bit liner into right center field. There was Strand and Duffy moving on it. Ultimately, it was Strand's decision to get the ball and throw it in, but I mean, I'm glad R.J. Lopez makes me eat my words there. Masai Marshall comes in to score, and Lumberjacks take the lead early, and now his on-base percentage is almost 500.
So 2 hits, 2 runs in the inning for the Lumberjacks. They take the lead here in the top of the second. Runner Lopez is still on first, and that brings up the center fielder Will Hill, who swings and misses on the first pitch. Hill hasn't played in quite a while. The last game was the Saugerties game at Hanson Aggregates Field, where he hit a home run, and since then is committed to Wharton Junior College. Congratulations to him. He's down 0-1 in this count. Here's the pitch. Swings and fouls it back. 0-2 the count now.
Yeah, we spoke to Will the other day at practice where we learned he was, talking to a few different schools, had a couple of different options, but ultimately it's Wharton County College. The Pioneers wanted to stay close to home in Texas, not go too far, take the JUCO route. A lot of players do that nowadays, and hopefully find his way back into a Power 4 conference after the remainder of 2027 season.
Checks his swing on that one. They'll say he did not go. Appeal over to the umpire at second base. They'll say he was safe.
I gotta say, I don't think we have the best angle, but I'm pretty sure the umpires got that one wrong. Will looked like he went around there for what potentially could have been the ending strike 3, but now he gets another chance. Hopefully he can make the most of it.
Last time out against Oneonta did have a double and an RBI. Did have a strikeout as well, though. He's down 1-2 here. The pitch is swung on and hit into right field, but making the catch is the right fielder Duffy right there, and that ends the inning, but not before the Lumberjacks get 2 up on the board. It's 2-1 going into the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. Back here in Oneonta, 2-1 the score after a 2-run top of the second from the Lumberjacks. First batter for the Outlaws is Fabio Marquez, the third baseman, out here to face Shepard yet again.
Yeah, Marquez, 4 for 21 on the season at batting average, a bit under 200.
Marquez hits this one into right field. That gets down for a single. Smith picks it up and gets it in quickly, straight to second base, but a leadoff single there for Fabio Marquez brings up the next batter, Caden Kraus.
Yeah, first pitch swinging didn't give Lumberjacks any time to settle in there. Lines that one into right field, and that's back-to-back innings now where the first batter is on for the Oneonta Outlaws.
So not what you want if you're the pitcher, Shepard.
Not at all.
Kraus batting .333. He hasn't played too much this year, just 2 games in this collegiate season. Swings and misses on the first one. Fastball was blown by him.
Yeah, 2 for 6 so far. Has 2 strikeouts in that time. Grabbed a walk while he was at it. So 429 on base percentage from nearby, from Saugerties, New York, actually chose to play for the Oneonta Outlaws.
Pickoff attempt by Shepard is not in time.
Local guy, as are many in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League.
0-1 the count on the extra hitter, Kraus. Shepard readies and fires the pitch. That one in the dirt and behind the backstop, Young. Marquez gets to second. He rounds and takes a big turn, but ultimately stays right there. So a wild pitch there on Shepard. Now that means there's a runner on second, still no outs in this inning.
You know, Evan, one thing I'm noticing is Eric Shepard's rocking number 32. It's a never-ending jersey debacle with the Lumberjacks. Well, he wore 14. I thought he had a different number at some point, too. Was he ever 10?
I don't think so.
I thought he, like, Eric Shepard, I feel like I never know what number he is. And when he stepped on and wore 32, it's always a new one, I feel like.
Next pitch is in the dirt, hits off of the backstop Young's mask and falls right in front of him. Count moves to 2-1.
Unrelated, but I remember I mentioned at the beginning of the game, but it is absolutely beautiful here. With how it got when we arrived at the park, pouring rain, I would absolutely not expect it to look like this here in Oneonta.
Kraus bats with a runner on second, looking for just his second RBI of the year. 2-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back behind the plate. 2-2 the count now. Shepard hunting for that strikeout here. We've had a couple two-strike counts so far today, but hasn't been the biggest strikeout pitcher. Just one so far this PGCBL season for him. And looking for his second right here. 2-2 the count on the extra hitter, Kraus. Here's the pitch from the righty Shepard. Just tops the zone, and that one not in there for ball 3. Lots of screams from the Boonville dugout as Kraus flung all of his gear towards the Oneonta dugout. He thought that was ball 4, but ultimately that means the count is full now.
I also thought that was ball 4, just based off his reaction, wrote BB in my book. Guess I'm hoping I scratched that out now. Good momentum swing opportunity for Shepard here if he can get an out now.
He remains alive. Here's the payoff pitch, and that one in the dirt gets by the catcher Young, and runner Marquez rounds second but doesn't advance. Runners on first and second for the left fielder Zachary Rao.
Did Kraus throw his gear even further after that walk right there?
Looks like he threw it directly behind the plate. I wasn't sure if that was going to hit the ball that had escaped the catcher Jacob Young. But regardless, it's Zachary Rao, the SUNY Oneonta player, at the plate now. Local hometown kid batting from the left side. Here's the first pitch. Shows bunt, ultimately pulls back. Young stands up on it, but it's outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Rao has played a lot in this field where I'm sure he's very familiar with the area. 10 games, 7 of them starts, but hasn't got going at the plate. Just a .063 average. 1 hit so far in 16 appearances at the plate. Pick back is not in time. Negron thought he got the runner Marquez at second. Shepard thought that was a great pick move right there, but called safe. And to be honest with you, Brady, I'm not sure how the umpire saw that one. He was completely turned around.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got a better angle than we do, but it looks like he got him from our angle. Lumberjacks, of course, upset with that, but you got to be if you're the away team.
Here's the pitch from Shepard, shows bunt, and bunts it all the way to the backstop. That one quite high, and the count moves now 1-1.
All right, right now with the count at 1-1, Eric Shepard has to get an out here. Guy's batting .63. He's showing bunt. He doesn't want to hit the ball. There's no reason to let him on base here.
Shepard awaits and fires, shows bunt yet again. This one gets down the third base line, but rolls foul and out of play.
Because in the top of the first, it was a single and hit by pitch to start the inning. Of course, it was then the bunt that the Lumberjacks couldn't properly field.
Defensive change as well for the Lumberjacks in between this half inning. Kanice Davis moves from second to third base, and Zeb Swangham enters the game. He goes to second. That means the third baseman Tanner Ferguson ultimately goes maybe to the bench, as this one is hit into right field. That one gets in the gap. The runner Marquez rounds third. He will score. Next runner Kraus sticks at third, and a stand-up double in there for Zachary Rao. 1 run scores, and the game is all tied up at 2.
Well, after showing bunt twice and fouling both off, he decides to swing instead and, well, barrels that one into the right center field gap. One comes around to score, and, well, now there's still no outs here. There's two ducks in the pond, both in scoring position as the infield comes in.
Rao's first hit of the year, or second hit of the year, first extra base hit of the year, and first RBI of the year. Gets them all here against the Lumberjacks, and Shepherd's in some trouble. Still runners second and third, no outs in this one. The shortstop, Augie Maslow, the next batter. Maslow batting .250 in 8 games played here as he fouls the first offering back behind the plate. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, and Tanner Ferguson, his first at-bat, he got hit by a pitch. It looked like it hit him on the hand, and he was in some pain right there. And I guess the decision was to take him out of the game because his hand hurt. No reason to risk injury there, so Swingham comes in to replace him, and Davis moves over to third now.
Could have been him. Also could have been Masai Marshall, who we saw running up and down the first base line in between this inning. Might have been an injury running-wise with him in that last inning as he legged out a triple. Next pitch is in there. Swing and a miss on that one. The off-speed was in the dirt, and it got him swinging. 0-2 the count now.
Yeah, Maslow also out of St. Joseph's University as well, hitting .250 on the year and even 7 for 28 so far. No RBIs in that time, but with 2 runners on, now's the time to do it.
0-2 is swung and hit to the first baseman Lopez, but it ultimately rolls just to the right of the bag. Foul. Count remains 0-2 on Maslow, who's also looking for his first RBI of the year with runners on second and third. Another guy that you would really love to punch out if you're Shepherd. Just really hasn't seemed to get that confidence out on the mound that you would hope. Here's the 0-2. In the dirt yet again. Young has to jump out in front to grab that one, and the count moves to 1-2.
Yeah, Lumberjacks infield doing the same thing with the Outlaws, where they don't want to run to score here. Everybody is playing up on the grass, so no ground ball will allow Kraus at third to come around and score. Shepherd still no outs here. So, I mean, I guess you're okay with giving up 1 here ultimately, but really want to get an out on this batter right here.
Maslow swings and fouls that one off of his shin in fair territory, but called foul ball. Count remains 1-2.
That's why I wear the leg gear.
Maslow batting from the right side here today with the shin guard out on that lead left leg.
Maslow's got some MLB blood. His uncle, Joe Patini, played and coached in the MLB, won 2 World Series with the St. Louis Cardinals. Maslow looking to find his way to the MLB as well. Good start playing at St. Joseph's.
The 1-2 is up high. The catcher Young has to stand up and grab that one. 2-2 the count now, all even. Maslow likes to draw the walk. He's got 5 so far this year. That's close to the team lead. But he's even 2-2 here. Next pitch is up high as well, and the count runs full. So from 0-2, they go to 3-2. And Shepherd's got to be careful. He can't walk the bases loaded right here.
No, he cannot. After having him 1-2 to the literal 10-hole hitter after allowing Rao to get on, who was hitting on under 100. These are back-to-back hitters that you simply got to get out.
Next pitch is a swing and a miss there from Maslow. Shepherd got him going, and a first punch out of the game for him. Finally 1 out in the inning, and the lineup flips over. It's Nolan Stark.
Yeah, Maslow sits at 5'8", 170, and he's got a smaller strike zone by nature. That one, I think, was ball 4. Fastball upstairs. Maslow swings through it, but kind of bails him out there. Lumberjacks will take that. Infield will still stay in, as now they need to get the one-hole hitter, Nolan Stark, out.
Stark singled and came around to score in his first plate appearance as he swings and hits this one into left field. And that one, Lassiter trips and falls, and that gets down. 2-run score. And that's a stand-up double right there for Nolan Stark. That one unfortunate. I think Lassiter might have lost that one as he started ranging in on it. Ultimately turned around, tried to run back, and then lost his footing. And an unfortunate one right there.
Yeah, the first rule of playing the outfield, Evan, is first step back. Well, Lassiter's first step was in right there, and quickly realized that ball was going over his head, but was not quick enough to recover as that one goes over his head, and then to slip and fall on top of that is obviously not a great look. So those 2 runs do come around to score, and well, another RBI opportunity is here's Matthew Meyer.
So 5th hit of the day allowed already for Shepard. We're just in the 2nd inning as the first offering on Meyer is inside, 1-0 the count. Meyer was hit by a pitch on his first time at the plate as the score moves to 4-2 Outlaws. And we've seen this a lot, especially early on in games where the Lumberjacks will kind of fight back and forth, and then the pitching will ultimately lose it later on as this next pitch is swung on and hit down the line. Davis gets it. Long throw across the diamond, but that one nowhere near the first baseman, Lopez, as 1 run scores and Meyer goes into 3rd. He's in there safely as the throw at the plate is not in time. And an error right there by the 3rd baseman, Davis. The score, moves to 5-2 Outlaws.
Yeah, we do have a good angle of that now that the sun is down. We saw that pretty clearly. Kanias Davis, I applaud the hustle, but playing a position that he doesn't often play at a backhand ball. It's a hot corner. Ball was hit to him pretty sharply. He throws it. You don't even want to say he threw it to first. Threw it in the general direction of first, but airmailed it maybe 30 feet past the base. And now it's another great RBI opportunity for the Outlaws.
Brings up the center fielder, P.J. Strand, who takes for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Strand singled in his first plate appearance today. And also, we heard him sing the national anthem as well. Was able to use the pipes earlier on in this one as he skies this one into the infield. Lopez ranging into foul territory. And it's the second baseman, Swangham, who makes the catch. Runner Mayer tries to tag from 3rd, but ultimately goes back, and that's out number 2. Brings up the right fielder, Vincent Duffy.
Clutch out for the Lumberjacks there. Lopez and Swangham both calling to see who wants the ball. Swangham decides it's his and goes and makes a great play on it. You mentioned Strand saying the national anthem. How do you think he did?
I thought it was all right. I think there was one point where his voice cracked, and I think he even recognized it. He said, "Oh, shoot," in different words into the microphone, as Duffy swings and misses on that first one.
Into the microphone,
yeah,
too.
Into the whole stadium heard it, and there were some laughs heard around here at Demaskey Field. But regardless, there's still the one smile, and it's 5-2 Outlaws here in the the bottom of the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch on Duffy. Swings and hits this one to Davis. He ranges in on it, throws over to first, and in there, the first baseman Lopez had to make a dangerous pick out of the dirt, but ultimately he gets it and ends the damage there. But not before Oneonta can get 4 here in the bottom of the 2nd. We'll see what the Lumberjack answer is after this. Back here in Oneonta, it's 5-2. The Outlaws plated 4 in that bottom of the second inning, and it's the 10-hole hitter for the Lumberjacks. Up first, it's the catcher, Jacob Young.
Yes, Young and Bischoff that get the catcher spot. They rotate between games. Michael Clarkson used to be in the mix, but he seems to be a full-time extra hitter / designated hitter.
You know, we saw him taking some left side of the infield reps at practice as well, hoping to move him there. As the first pitch off speed is outside for ball 1.
No, Evan, I wouldn't take those infield reps too seriously. I saw left-handed relief pitcher Spencer Biggerstaff also taking some infield reps.
Here's the 1-0 on Young. And that fastball in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Jacob Young, just like the first baseman, Argenis Lopez, out of Wabash Valley College, the Division I Great Rivers Athletic Conference school. Count's even 1-1 as he swings and misses on the off-speed in the dirt. Count moves to 1-2. Young has been in and out of the lineup. It's been him and Bischoff. Didn't play the last Oneonta game, but against Saugerties was in the lineup. Had 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-2. Thought about going on that one, but the off-speed just outside. 2-2 the count now.
Yeah, his best game came against at Utica in a victory where he went 3 for 3 and even threw a guy out behind the plate. So he's always looking to replicate that success. Other than that game, however, he has struggled a bit. Looking to find it today if he can. When they're down 3 right now, leadoff hitter. Hopefully he can get on.
All of his hits came in that Utica game. He's had 3 this year, but hasn't had any since. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Just outside, off-speed misses, and the count runs full. Outfield backs up here in preparation for the payoff pitch.
Credit where credit's due, though. He's grabbed a few walks, and his on-base percentage is right at .400.
And just 12 at-bats for the sophomore out of Smyrna, Georgia. Here's the payoff pitch. That one way up high above his head, and he draws the walk. So Jacob Young is on, and the lineup flips over. It's Canisius Davis, who just made the error over at third base at the plate.
Yeah, right on cue. Draws another walk, and well, as long as he does that, he'll get more catching opportunities.
First walk of the day for the Lumberjacks. Despite scoring 2 in that last inning, it's Canisius Davis who was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat at the plate now. Another sophomore out of Georgia, this one from Atlanta. Here's the pitch. That one in the dirt, gets behind the catcher Mayer, and Young is into second standing. So a wild pitch right there. Now a runner in scoring position for Davis, who's only got a couple of RBIs so far this year.
So interesting to think that by Jacob Young working just a 6-pitch walk, fouled off 1, otherwise got 4 balls to 2 strikes, and gets a free 90 feet, grabs 90 more right there on a passed ball. It's effectively the same as a leadoff double. Crazy to think of how these pass balls can help the Lumberjacks, but also kill them when they're on the defensive end of them.
Here's the 1-0 on Davis. Swings and misses on that off speed. Count moves to 1-1. Davis was named the fastest prospect at the HBCU All-American Games just a week ago. That's why he reported late to this team. Wasn't in the lineup for the first couple games, but he's made an impact when he was in here, batting .333 so far this season.
Good reason to put him at the 1 spot.
1-1 is in the dirt. The off-speed misses. 2-1 the count now. His last 4 games, he's had 4 hits and 4 walks, just 3 strikeouts. He's been a massive addition to this lineup. His only multi-hit game was the first of the season that he played. That was June 7th against Mohawk Valley. Still looking to replicate that performance, however. Here's the 2-1. Swings and hits this one into the gap, and that one gets down. The runner Young rounds third, and he will score. Davis going to second, and he stands in there for a double. Davis is in there with his 3rd RBI of the year, his first extra base hit of the year, and it's 5-3 here. Oneonta still on top.
Yeah, piece that one to the opposite field and split the gap yet again. He's into second with an easy double. Young also able to score easily. So back-to-back batters where obviously Young walked. He was able to get to second on through the second pitch of the at-bat with a pass ball. And well, now it's Lassiter with an opportunity to make up for the mistake that he had in left field at the bottom of the second.
Lassiter ultimately, a ball that he probably should have caught, ultimately was called a hit. Not too surprised to see that on the road. The scorers are going to give their own hitters a hit.
I'd give him a hit on that.
I think
hit it hard, went over his head. I think you give him a hit on that.
I think Lassiter catches that if he steps back. But regardless, the off speed is outside. The catcher Mayer has to slide to get that one. 1-0 the count.
And you mentioned Kanias Davis being one of the more impactful players on the team, and of course he was a late addition. This Lumberjacks team played the Oneonta Outlaws on May 30th. Today, for reference, is June 19th. Will Hill was in the lineup, so was Asher Friedman, Ian Farber, Noah Reed, Seth Bischoff, Jihad Guy, Davon Ibaga, and Jonathan Tetzlaff. None of those guys are in the lineup today. It's a completely different looking roster. As just about half the Lumberjacks' current lineup are guys who got there a little bit later than the first reported day. So that game ended 6-4 by way of Oneonta. They had a stellar top of the third, headlined by a grand slam from Blake Fortunato, who is also not in the lineup for the Oneonta Outlaws today. But this Lumberjack team looks completely different than they did 3 weeks ago, and now's the opportunity to show it to the Outlaws.
Here comes the 1-0 on Lassiter, who swings and fouls that one back behind the plate. And you mentioned Asher Friedman, the middle infielder, who unfortunately is no longer with us. His time here in Boonville is over, but very great player to have. Great contact hitter with an interesting stance that I couldn't replicate myself, but ultimately had to go back home. But
when did he leave?
That was yesterday, actually.
Wow. I was going to say, I didn't think I saw him today. Yeah. I knew he was leaving, just didn't know the day.
Lassiter checks his swing. Ultimately, he goes on that one. Count moves to 1-2. Yeah, I mean, the middle infield is one of the most crowded positional groups on this team. Certainly, there were a lot of guys that were vying for playing time in that middle infield, and it gets a little bit easier now with Friedman gone, but certainly a player that you'd wish to have back on this team. As Lassiter hits this one down the third base line, that one's fair. The left fielder, Rao, picks it up and throws to second base. Lassiter in there, but that one thrown over the infield. 1 run scores. Lassiter into third as he stays right there. So a double with an error. RBI as well for Lassiter, and now it's all of a sudden a 1-run game.
Yeah, that was a really aggressive turn at first. I think a good throw to second very possibly might have had Lassiter, but, the reason he went is to force a rushed throw, and, it was nowhere close to the bag, and he just grabs an extra 90 feet by doing so. Lumberjacks no outs now, and they've put on 2 in the inning, or should, under all circumstances, should add a third one right here.
Meeting at the mound, and this might be it for the pitcher, Patrick Vientimilla. We'll see what happens here, and he is going to be pulled here. It's going to be a new arm in the game after this. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks radio network for the pitching change. Back here in Oneonta at Damaski Field, new pitcher in the game for the Outlaws is Braden McNamee, and he's been pretty strong so far this year. He's a guy that's been very reliable for the Outlaws this season.
Yeah, Lumberjacks still got to get this runner in on third, but by the Outlaws putting McNamee in as early as they are tells me two things. One, that they don't want any more runs allowed this inning, of course, and two, that they want some innings out of McNamee, who leads the team in innings, or is top 3 in the team in innings. He's got 14.1, and in that time he's an ERA under 1.5. He's a 1.26 ERA in that span, so he's not looking to not give up any more. He'll have to face the heart of the Lumberjacks lineup, of course, but Lumberjacks, at a minimum, have to get Lassiter in on third, even though they're facing a top arm.
First pitch from McNamee. Clarkson swings and misses on that one. 0-1 the count. Final line for the starter in this game, Patrick Vientamilla. 2 innings pitched. Ultimately, he entered this third, but did not get any outs. 3 hits allowed, 1 walk allowed for 4 earned runs, as well as 2 strikeouts as Clarkson hits this one foul down the first base line. Count moves to 0-2. 2 hit by pitch as well for Patrick Vientamilla, so not the best day from him, but McNamee is in this game to try and set the record straight with Lassiter still on third. That's Vientamilla's responsibility. Here's the 0-2. That one way up above Clarkson's head, and the count moves to 1-2. Clarkson serving as the extra hitter so far in this game out of Paris Junior College. He just graduated from there. He's an uncommitted JUCO sophomore, looking for his next 4-year home as he swings and misses on the 1-2. Fastball was blown by him, and the first out of the inning is a strikeout. That brings up the right fielder, Marcus Smith.
Well, that's why he's here, to help to prevent the Lumberjacks from putting the ball in play. And, well, he's got to do that 3 times. Just did it for the first time against Clarkson. Hopefully Smith able to just get a fly ball or maybe a well-placed ground ball to the right side. I'm sure Lasso's going on anything if it's in the infield.
Smith, the right fielder, in there. Here's the first pitch from McNamee, and that one just outside for a ball. First time up in this game, Smith flew out to center field. That was the sliding catch that was made to rob him of what could have been extra bases. Next pitch is swung on and fouled back behind the plate. 1-1 the count. McNamee, a sophomore, just finished up his sophomore year, looking to have a strong junior year. Here's the next pitch. Swung and missed there from Smith. Count moves to 1-2. McNamee out of Texas A&M Texarkana, one of the feeder programs for A&M. Here's the 1-2. Just tops the zone there. 2-2 the count now.
He's at a feeder program for A&M. That's, of course, the top Division I program in the country. And with Michael Clarkson, he's at a Memphis University, which isn't a Power 4 school, but is one of the premier mid-majors. So good opportunity for Smith to welcome him.
As that one in there for a called third strike. The off-speed dropped in there by McNamee, and he's got 2 straight punch-outs. That brings up the second baseman, Zeb Swangham, who was just substituted in this game.
Yeah, another Division I hitter here. Zeb Swang out of the University of North Carolina, Asheville. Another Division I program. And, well, we said at the beginning of the inning, there's a reason why they're putting McNamee in. It's to hopefully hold Lassiter at third. But the Lumberjacks, their responsibility was to get Lassiter in. But, well, it's now it's up to Zeb Swangham, who has been catching barrels, but a lot of them haven't been falling so far.
That one in there for a called strike on Swangham. Count moves to 1-1. Swangham in his last game played was against Socrates. Had 1 RBI, which was a sac fly, and grounded into a double play. Next pitch is in the dirt. Lassiter dances back and forth between third and home, but ultimately goes back, and the count moves to 2-1.
Swangham was a late arrival for the Lumberjacks, but in the first game, it was at Mohawk Valley. He hit a home run his first game, and I guess we figured that would kind of be how a lot of these games went, but since then, he's gotten 1 hit. He's 2 for 22 so far, hitting under 100 on the season.
2-1 is in the dirt as well. Count moves to 3-1. Swangham wasn't here the last time these two teams squared off. No at-bats against Oneonta so far in this PGCBL season. Batting just .091 so far here in the PGCBL. Here's the 2-2. And that one in the dirt, 3-2, excuse me, and swung him on with a walk. So runners on the corners now, 2 outs for the designated hitter, Masai Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall, probably the guy you want up in this spot. I don't think he'll be hitting in the 6th spot much longer. This is his third game being placed there. All games he's played for the Lumberjacks, he started and hit 6th in the lineup. And well, the way he's been hitting, I'm sure some changes are going to be made before the doubleheader versus Glens Falls tomorrow.
Marshall had an RBI triple in his first plate appearance. That was one of the hits he got last game as well against Saugerties. Had 2 in that game for 2 RBIs. As the first pitch off speed in the dirt, 1-0 the count. Marshall, another guy who wasn't on the team the last time these two programs squared off. Had not played against Oneonta, but does have hits in both of his games played so far this year, just 2. Takes that one just outside. Marshall from Northwestern University, as the pick back from McNamee, not in time on Swangham.
Both teams pretty even so far. 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 errors for the Lumberjacks to 5 hits, 5 runs, and 2 errors for the Outlaws.
That one in there for a called strike. Count moves to 1-2 on Marshall. Marshall, despite all of his productiveness at the plate, has struck out 3 times and is still looking for his first walk on the season.
Really? Hasn't walked?
Mm-mm. Here's the 1-2. Runner goes from first. Throw is not in time. Swangham in there, sliding head first with a stolen base there. Might have been a double steal, but Lassiter did not go.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward slide into second there. Swangham, I was afraid that he might be in some type of pain when he got up from second. Seems to be okay, is standing now, but still 2-1 here for Marshall.
So they need something from Marshall here. A hit could take the lead for the Lumberjacks. Here's the 2-2, taken inside, and Oneonta wanted a called third strike right there, but just misses right there on the fastball, and the count runs full.
Yeah, obviously we're not too close to home plate there, but Meyer, I believe I saw it correctly, he moved his glove a decent amount trying to frame that pitch, and I guess tried to sell it by getting a jump start towards the dugout, but he's got to earn it here against Marshall.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Way up high there, and Marshall draws a walk, his first of the year, and that loads the bases for the hottest hitter in this lineup, Elijah Negron.
Yeah, great at-bat from Marshall right there. Meyer tries to end it by stealing a strike. Umpire doesn't give it to him, and the next pitch misses upstairs. What I like from McNamee, though, is he is set right now, and Negron hasn't even stepped into the batter's box. Absolutely dialed on the mound, looking to get his 3rd out of the inning.
Here's the first pitch from McNamee. Negron thinks about going on that one, but it's just outside for ball 1. Before the last game that he played against Glens Falls, he'd homered in his last 3 games. Was also on a 4-game extra base hit streak that was broken against Glen Falls with hits and RBIs in all of his last 5 games. He's the man you want at the plate right now, is that fastball in there for a called strike 1. Had just 2 strikeouts during his last week of play. He's been on a tear and very good at the plate. He's been working counts with a straightforward approach as he swings and fouls this one to the backstop, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, struck out looking earlier today, and well, obviously he's going to try and put the ball in play here. Infield playing regular depth, outfield is as well. Need a base hit here to potentially tie and potentially take the lead, I should say.
Here's the 1-2 from McNamee. Swung on and missed from Negron. He sat him down, 3 strikeouts on the inning to get out of the jam. And the Lumberjacks leave 2 stranded in scoring position, but not before they capitalize and cut the lead down to 1 for the Outlaws. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 3rd on the Lumberjacks Radio Network. Eric Shepard back out on the mound for the Lumberjacks here, trying to limit the lead to just one for Oneonta, and the first batter in the box is Colin Penner, the first baseman.
Yeah, he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. I guess the sting from that one wore off, shows bunt, but he's looking to swing instead.
That one in there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
So it's about half our game. It's getting pretty chilly.
That fastball down low, 1-1 the count now, as Young wants to swap that ball out with the umpire. Yeah, it has been a little chillier here in central New York. Obviously, we're both from the West Coast, California and Arizona, so we're not used to this weather for the summer. As that one in there for a called strike, 1-2 the count. I know you were looking at the weather a little bit earlier from back home, and it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, 104 was the high. So, I mean, I guess we're 3 hours ahead. It's 5:30 there, and now it's probably 95 if I had to guess right now.
This one hit in between third and short. That's going to get down for a hit. The left fielder Lassiter picks it up, and for the third time today, a leadoff single for the Outlaws. That brings up Stephen Clark.
You know, the Oneonta Outlaws hit .218. That's the batting average coming into today with an on-base percentage of .333. I would have had no clue if I didn't look that up pregame because, I mean, they've got 6 hits in 3 innings, and they're tearing the cover off the ball right now.
Yeah, the Outlaws have been a little bit fortunate in some of their games, and with the second lowest batting average, but ultimately in a playoff spot right now. They've not really had a lot going for them at the plate, but they've just been able to make it work, and a lot of strong performances from arms is what's helped them so far this year. First pitch from the righty Shepard is in there for a called strike, hits the top outside part of the zone. 0-1 the count. Clark out of Emmanuel University, the Division II school out in the Conference of Carolinas, originally from Cumming, Georgia. He's another guy used to the heat, not really used to this chilly central New York weather. As he shows bunt, lays it right to the pitcher Shepard. He throws over to second, and that one in time. Negron gets the throw. Just one, though. However, Clark does reach first, and that brings up the third baseman, Fabio Marquez.
Yeah, heads-up play from Shepard there. I for sure thought he was going to first, had an easy out there. Instead, decides to throw a little further to second where Negron is covering, but they get the out there. And no, while we're looking at this infield, yet another defensive switch. It's swaying him to third now as Davis is now back at second.
Yeah, heads-up play by the entire defense. One out, runner on first as that off-speed just misses inside on Marquez. 1-0 the count. Marquez singled and ultimately came around to score in the last inning. That was his last at-bat. Batting just 190 on the year, but with a strong start at the dish today. Here's the 1-0 from Shepard. Picks back at Clark, but Clark back in there standing. We've seen this a lot so far today. Oneonta like to play the small ball. They like to show bunt, steal bases, manufacture runs. That's what Boonville has been trying to do, but hasn't really worked out for them too much. As this one skied high, Lopez ranging into foul territory and makes the running catch. Clark decides not to tag from first, and a much-needed out right there. 2 outs brings up the extra hitter, Caden Krause.
Yeah, that was pretty scary, obviously. I mean, Lopez running full speed right towards the wall right there on the first base side to make that play. I was a little scared he would go head first, but guess he had plenty of room to make the play and helps out his pitcher right there. That's 2 quick outs now here at the bottom of the third.
Krause walked last inning as he swings and fouls this one back behind the plate. 0-1 the count. Krause just playing in his third game so far here tonight. He's been productive when he has been in the lineup with 2 hits in 2 games. Just 6 at-bats along with a walk, but still looking for more playing time. Here's the 0-1. Swings and fouls that one back. Hits the dirt right behind the catcher Young and bounces into the Oneonta dugout, and now 0-2 the count.
You know, Evan, for all the fields that we've played at, there's the one in Amsterdam, Mohawk Valley, Utica, Glens Falls, and here. Which is your favorite? Because I'm thinking this one's my favorite.
I
the Maskey Field here.
Other than Hanson Aggregates, I can't pick Boonville.
Would you pick Boonville?
I would. I think the comfort of being in our home stadium is much supreme to any other ballpark experience. As this one in the dirt from Shepard, 1-2 the count. Which would you pick?
Well, I'm not PR trained, so I think I'm going to pick Damaski Field here at Oneonta because this one is beautiful. I'm really enjoying it. As I walked into the stadium, I read a little pamphlet. Babe Ruth played here before.
Joe DiMaggio as well, I think.
Oh, that old Yankees team.
1-2 just misses inside. Shepard thought he got him on a called third strike, but the count moves even 2-2 now on Kraus.
Yeah, umpire, I don't want to say squeezing him a little bit, but definitely making those pitches earn it. He's not going for those little walk-offs the mound or the catcher jumping up like he's got it. No, he's calling it the way that he wants to call it back there, and I absolutely respect that. Make Shepard earn it as he wants to get out of the bottom of the third.
2-2, Shepard looking to end this inning as this one hit to the third baseman. Swingham, throw over to first is in time. Lopez squeezes it, and that is out number 3. Another defensive change right there that I didn't even notice. Swingham moves over to third. Davis to second base. Negron stays at short, but that ends the inning regardless. Shepard keeps it clean for the first time today, and Boonville trail by just 1 heading into the top of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. Back here at Damaski Field, it's the Lumberjacks trying to get back into this one, trailing by 1 run, and the first batter up in this one, the first baseman, Argenis Lopez.
Yeah, RBI single his first time around, and was looking to lead off the inning. So far, each team's first hitter has gotten on for all, I guess this is the top of the 4th, so all 6 half innings so far, the leadoff hitter has gotten on.
McMahon still out there for Oneonta, out on the bump. First pitch is swung on and hit down the third base line. That one's going to get foul and out of play. Thought that one was headed towards us, but ultimately
had no clue where that one was.
Ultimately ends up in the Oneonta bullpen right behind us.
You guys got a foul ball that just went inside.
0-1 the count as Lopez swings and misses on that one. Count is 0-2. Fastball blown right by him. Lopez with that RBI single in the first plate appearance so far today. That was just his 2nd RBI of the season as he watches that one go. Fastball just outside, 1-2 the count. Started the season on a 4-game hit streak, but with the addition of Carson Beatty to the first baseman room, he hasn't played a game since then. 1-2 hits him. Looks like that just grazed the part of his lead left leg, and now he's on with a hit by pitch.
Yeah, it's still McNamee on the mound, but Lumberjacks didn't end up getting Lassiter, who was on third base with no outs. Struck out 3 times, of course, a few walks in there as well, but ultimately no ball was put in play once Lassiter reached third, and they missed a pretty good RBI opportunity there. So now that it's Lopez, Hill, and Young, 3 hitters who could be in the middle of the lineup, it's their turn to now drive in a run here.
Center fielder Will Hill next up at the plate as he watches the fastball miss just high and away. 1-0 the count now. Hill did play in the last game against Oneonta, had 1 hit, which was a double, as well as an RBI and a strikeout. Here's the 1-0. That one up high, moves out of the way, and 2-0 the count now as the catcher Mayer wants a meeting with his pitcher. He didn't look happy after he threw that one as he kind of stepped off and walked around the mound, but it's a full defensive meeting here.
Wow. Wonder what it's talking about.
Will Hill's got him scared.
Do you think that plays a factor at all? Like, do you think teams are like, oh, we're facing a dude from Texas today?
Maybe.
I wouldn't think so, but I wonder if it's like subconscious at all.
Could be. I mean,
You know what I mean?
Will Hill, he is batting .222. Not the best numbers, but he does lead the team in at-bats, games played and games started.
Those aren't very intimidating stats, I gotta say.
No, but I guess if you say, University of Texas guy that was highly recruited, I mean, he had offers from TCU, Georgia, Tennessee, ultimately went to play at Texas. I guess that would strike fear into the opponent.
Well, now's the opportunity to get a hit.
Hitters count, skies this one into center field. Underneath it is the center fielder PJ Strand, who makes the catch. Lopez goes back to first base, and that's the first out in the inning. That brings up the backstop Jacob Young.
We mentioned Texas, who just got eliminated from the College World Series. College World Series starts tomorrow. It's the University of North Carolina versus Oklahoma. Do you have a dog in that race, Evan?
Not really. I guess Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's been hot. They've upset like they've beat the conference winner of the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC.
This one skied high into the infield. The shortstop Maslow is underneath it, and he squeezes it for out number 2. So just one pitch there from Young, and the lineup flips over. It's the second baseman Canisius Davis back at the plate for the third time today. Davis was hit by pitch in his first plate appearance today, doubled for an RBI in his second. Looking to get something going here in the fourth inning.
I wonder what position he can't play.
There's got to be something.
Catcher, I imagine.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
but I guess he could. He's played the outfield, played the infield, plays pitcher.
First pitch on him, fastball in there for a called strike.
But he doesn't get the title of Shohei Ohtani. That goes to Big Michael
Clarkson, yeah.
Clarkson gave me some of his energy drink this morning. This afternoon. It was pretty good. Forget what flavor it was, but it was pretty good.
0-1 is swung on and hit in between. Maslow's got it, and the throw is in time. Davis almost beat it out. That one almost got through the infield, but ultimately out number 3. So Lumberjacks strand 1, the leadoff single from Lopez, and that ends the inning. Going to the bottom of the fourth, we'll be right back. Eric Shepard still out on the mound for the Lumberjacks, his longest appearance so far this year. And out here in the bottom of the fourth inning, first batter he faces is the left fielder, Zachary Rao. Rao grounded out to third and walked so far in this one. Stands in from the left side. Left fielder out of SUNY Oneonta, the Division III school. Here's the 1-0. That one in the dirt. Young has to pick it up on a hop, and count moves to 2-0.
SUNY Oneonta's down the street. I'm pretty sure we passed it on the way here.
We did. Yeah. local kid. I mean, he's from Hudson, New York, so not originally from here, but spends a lot of time up here playing ball.
Got to enjoy it to commit the entire year to it, really.
2-0 is swung down the third base line. Swangham can't find it, and that one ultimately 2 foul. Looks like he lost that one in the sun. Him and Negron couldn't locate it, but it went as far as Lassiter. Ultimately a foul ball, and the count moves to 2-1. I'm not sure what's going on here, whether it's the lights, because it's not the sun anymore. The sun is completely gone. But
wow, it's beautiful
fielders
here.
have had a lot of trouble locating balls.
9 p.m., but it's still bright out here. It's kind of crazy.
Here's the 2-1 from Shepard. Swung on and hit down the first base line. This one is going to get out of play, and the count moves to 2-2 now.
Lots of green grass, green trees. Everything here is green in Oneonta. If I were Zach Rao, I think I'd want to stay here a little longer too.
Now, you really love the field here at Damaski, don't you?
I mean, it's beautiful. I wish the viewers at home could see, or excuse me, the listeners at home could see what I'm seeing, man. It's bright lights, nice stadium. Not too packed, but it's a Friday, and it was raining a lot earlier, which I'm sure deterred some of the Oneonta locals. But no, it's beautiful here. I understand why they draw the crowd here.
2-2 is swung on and hit into center field. Will Hill is ranging back on it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That brings
Rao barreled that, but that's got to hurt, really. I mean, I guess for a summer at bat, that's a pretty good summer at bat. You take that, but I mean, you barrel that one, hit it about as hard as you can, just right at Will Hill, who an underrated defender. He pretty much gets to everything out in center.
Next up at the plate, Augie Maslow, the only strikeout victim so far of Eric Shepard today, as he takes that one, hits the top left corner of the zone in there for a strike.
Yeah, and on his strikeout, I remember we mentioned it, he might have swung at ball 4 back in the second.
Swings and hits this one to the third baseman, Swangham. He throws over with lots of time to spare and gets out number 2 in the inning.
Yeah, Lumberjacks creating firewood right there. That's a broken bat from Maslow. He'll have to find himself a new one for his next at-bat. Zeb Swangham, nice play, runs in. He does that little glove tap. I noticed the entire team does that. I kind of did it when I played the field too. You field the ball and you tap the ball into your glove before you make a throw. I wonder why.
Beats me. Probably superstition.
Like, because I don't think you intentionally do it. Field it, tap the glove, and throw. I mean, whatever you got to do to get him out.
First pitch on Stark is outside. Fastball missed for ball 1. Stark bats from the left side but throws from the right side. Not a first baseman either, so no real reason to do that as he fouls this one back and out of play.
Is that the rare combination?
I think
bat left,
so.
throw right, or is it throw right, bat left? One of those is like kind of...
I think batting right, throwing left is probably more rare. But for
batting right, throwing left?
For a non-first baseman, I feel like it's pretty rare regardless, as he swings and hits this one foul down the first base line, 1-2. Stark's a guy who reported late to this Oneonta team, has only been here for the last 4 games, playing in 3 of them. Got the day off in their last game. As he swings and hits this one right to the first baseman, Lopez, underhand throw. Oh, he doesn't. Takes it himself, but ultimately beats him out. An unnecessary risk there from Argenis Lopez, who faked the throw to the pitcher, Shepard, but ultimately out number 3 right there. It's Boonville looking to get back into this game. They're still down by a run. We'll head to the top of the 5th after this. Back here in Oneonta, it's still 5-3. The Outlaws on top, but the Lumberjacks have been knocking on the door for a couple innings now. It's the left fielder Wyatt Lassiter, the first man up, who tripled in his last at-bat, struck out in his first, and looking to get something going for the Lumberjacks here.
Yeah, it's still McNamee on the mound for the Outlaws, out there for a reason. Remember when he was brought in, my theory was that his goal was to get out of that inning without giving up a run and stay in the game for a long time without giving up runs. And I guess he's their guy that does that. If the starter doesn't quite have it, he comes in and gets them through the third, through the fifth.
Lassiter hits this one on the line to left field, but ultimately a line drive catch made by Zachary Rao out there. And a hard out there for Lassiter brings up the extra hitter, Michael Clarkson.
Yeah, it hurts for Lasso. It's pretty much the exact same thing that just happened to Zach Rao earlier, who was on the opposite end of a play like that, where you barrel a ball right at an outfielder. So competitive summer AB, but in a game where the Lumberjacks are down 1 run and trying to win, it's got to hurt a little bit.
First pitch on Clarkson is just outside. The off-speed misses for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Clarkson, the Jacker, as they call him.
The Lumberjack. They call him the Lumberjack. He is this team's mascot, as the next pitch is swung on and missed. 1-1 the count.
Michael Jacker Lumberjack Jackson. Not Jackson, Clarkson. Wow, I've called him Michael Jackson like 3 times now. Man.
It's a very
They're
bad
both
mistake.
Smooth and effortless, man. What can I say?
Swings and misses on that one. Fans on the off-speed yet again. 1-2 the count.
Called him Michael Jackson. I remember the first game he played, I called him Michael Jackson. I know I called him that at least one more time.
And fans and misses on that one as well. 3 straight swinging and misses from Clarkson. He's set down on strikes, and that brings up the right fielder, Marcus Smith.
Yeah, McNamee is carving up this Lumberjacks lineup. He's only allowed, he hasn't allowed a hit. He came in when Lassiter
2
was
walks
on,
allowed, but
no
hits.
Yeah, he came in when Lassiter was on third. Strikeout, walk, strikeout, hit by pitch, fly out, ground out, fly out, strikeout. Wow, he's been incredible so far.
Dealing with 4 Ks. That brings up Marcus Smith, who struck out looking in his last plate appearance, also flied out to center in the second inning of this game. Takes that one in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Smith was not on the team the last time these two teams squared off, has not gotten an AB against Oneonta before this one, as there is some movement in the Lumberjack bullpen.
You know, on the Lumberjack pitching side, the goal was single-digit walks, and so far there's a hit by pitch.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Don't even say it.
Okay.
Don't.
All right, never mind.
2-1 the count.
Thought the listeners at home might want to know, but I guess the superstition that Evan thinks. Oh yeah, sure.
2-1 the count on Smith. He checks his swing on that one, but they say he went. 2-2 the count now.
Yeah, he definitely went around on that. They missed it with Will Hill earlier, right there. He 100% went around. But Smith is a guy who also homered in his first game. Still looking to get another one of those.
Swings and misses on the off-speed in the dirt. That does it for the inning, and another punch out there. 2 straight to end the inning, and that's going to do it for the top of the 5th. I've been Evan Simbieta here on Play-by-Play, but Brady Foxwell is going to take you through the rest of this matchup. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 5th inning.
Hello, folks at home. It's Brady Foxwell. Evan Simbita is currently in the Lumberjacks clubhouse grabbing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so he's grabbing me one as well. So during this time, I'd like to say thank you to him for that. He'll get a thank you when he comes back here as well, but it's a pitching change for the Lumberjacks. It's going to be Spencer Biggerstaff now taking the mound for the Lumberjacks side after Eric Shepard's day of work is done. Thank you, Evan, for the PB&J. As in steps on the Oneonta side, Matthew Meyer, the backstop. He's been hit by a pitch today, and he had a single with an error. It was a ground ball to the third baseman, Kanias Davis, who tried to make a jump throw to first base, ultimately airmailed it, which allowed him to extend by a base. First pitch misses outside. Second one does the same thing. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball to the left side, fielded cleanly by Negron, who throws onto first offline, which pulls R.J. Lopez off the bag, and Meyer is in safely with a single, but is now down holding his hamstring, or is holding something. He appears to be in a little bit of pain, might have stepped entirely on the first base bag.
Yeah, not the start you want if you're Spencer Biggerstaff, but ultimately he's just going to have to push through this one. Biggerstaff's a guy who's been on a little bit of he's been better as of late. His last performance was by far his best this year. He had his most strikeouts along with no runs allowed. As a lefty, this team really needs him if they want to get going, especially coming out of the bullpen. If he can continue to carry this on, he'll be a trusted arm regardless of matchup, regardless of which side he's throwing from. He could be one of the best arms in this bullpen regardless.
Yeah, Biggerstaff's worked to a 2.08 ERA so far in the season. He's been incredible. That's among almost an entire full game innings pitched. That's 8 2/3 done out of Oklahoma City University. Hey, he's been fantastic. Dare I say the best reliever out of the bullpen. Yeah, even though Michael Clarkson's ERA is still 0, Biggerstaff has quadrupled the innings he has.
Yeah, I mean, Biggerstaff had 4 strikeouts in just 2 innings against Socrates. I mean, we haven't really seen anyone go out there and do that. Maybe Kanias Davis, but that would be the only other guy that comes to mind.
Here's P.J. Strand. Evan, I guess it's a pretty good PB&J. That first pitch goes to the backstop, and Meyer moves to second.
Thank you. I mean, I made it with the most important ingredient. It was made with love. So,
really?
Yeah.
Is that in between the peanut butter and the jelly?
I actually put it on top of the jelly.
Oh, okay.
I figured it would make a better top layer.
Okay, makes sense. You know, P.J. Strand's dad came up to us earlier in the broadcast, shouted us out, said we're doing a great job. Then we told him we're with the enemy, the Boonville Lumberjacks, and he quickly left us. I don't think it was out of, any ill intent, but once he realized we were with the green and gold, he kind of, dare I say, he kind of just left us after that. Am I
we haven't seen him. He moved to a different section as well.
What? He did? Wow.
Wants nothing to do with us.
Man, that's unfortunate. 3-0 to Biggerstaff now as that one misses down. 3-0 from Biggerstaff. Misses downstairs. Count.
And Biggerstaff, in that last appearance, he only walked 1 batter. That's what helped him get through those 2 innings cleanly.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to mention walks on the broadcast, as the 3-0 is nowhere close for ball 4, as that brings up an even tougher task in Vincent Duffy out of Seton Hall University.
Yeah, just the second walk on the day from the Lumberjacks. First came all the way back in the second inning, so they've been doing well on that front today, but they're just going to need to do better. I mean,
2 hit by pitches as well, though.
2 hit by pitches as well. I mean, they won't count as walks, but it's worth mentioning. But they just need to be better. I mean, Boonville, so far, they have 3 errors as well in the field. They just haven't really been supporting their pitchers as well as you would hope.
Duffy, despite being the 4-hole hitter, shows a bunt. That's the 3rd time today, I want to add, that the Oneonta Outlaws have gotten the first 2 batters on. And the 3rd batter always shows bunt. And he lays it down right there. It's fielded by Biggerstaff, who makes a tough throw to first. Davis does the correct thing, and the second baseman moves over to first and gets the out there, but both runners will advance.
Yeah, it's the right play right there. got to get out of the way and just get the easy out. I mean, that's only the first of the inning. They've got runners on second and third, but as we said earlier, this is what Oneonta does. They make small ball runs. They manufacture scores in this game. That's why they're in a playoff spot right now, because they can do this.
And I applaud the commitment to it, even with Duffy, who's been the best hitter on the team. With respect to the amount of at-bats that he gets a starting job pretty much every day. Even he's showing, that shows that no one's bigger than the program really is. Now it's Colton Penner up to bat. He got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat and then singled his next time around. So he's been on both times today and is looking to get on today with two ducks in the pond, both in scoring position. Lumberjacks infield is in to counter. Swinging a line drive off the glove of Kanias Davis. Ball is into center. Both runs will come around to score. And Penner's into first with a 2 RBI single. The lead for the Oneonta Outlaws now 3 as the score is 4-7.
That's a tough play right there by Davis. I don't think they're going to give him the error on that one, even though it hit his glove. But that one was absolutely smoked on a rope, and not really too much he could do about that one. It would have been a great play if he could make it, but ultimately not one that you would expect him to make. But ultimately Boonville in the hole by 3 now. Not what you want to see out of Biggerstaff.
We're on first now. In steps Stephen Clark, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First one was a slow roll ground ball to the first baseman, Lopez, who took it himself to the bag and then grounded out his second one. Runner on first now. Takes a pitch outside. Ball's 1-1. On deck is Fabio Marquez, the third baseman. Ground ball up the middle, but Davis is there to field it. Throw onto one. They'll get one out, but the runner advances to second now. But Lumberjacks now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Davis looks a lot more comfortable over there at second base. We had that error over at third early on in this game, which ultimately cost his team a couple runs, but he's done a lot better over at second. Heads up play on the bunt as well as a nice throw there, and I think that's probably where he'll stick for the rest of the day.
Well, here's Fabio Marquez with the runner in scoring position. Biggerstaff's first pitch misses upstairs. Marquez is 1 for 2 on the day, singled his first time around, flew out to Lopez in foul territory his second time around. Got a runner in scoring position here, leads 4-7, favor of the Outlaws as that one is lined into right field. Coming to home is Penner. He'll be around to score because it is misplayed in right field by Marcus Smith, which allows Marquez to move to second for a single and an error. And just like that, the score is now 4-8.
Just not good enough.
Uncharacteristic for Spencer Biggerstaff. And definitely uncharacteristic for Marcus Smith out in right field to bobble that play.
Yeah, I mean, it's been confusing for Biggerstaff to come in and let up 3 innings. I mean, on the year, his ERA is 2.08, so not a guy who lets in a lot of runs, but ultimately he's just not really got the important outs. That was another one right there that he kind of just missed, and ultimately this the lead is ballooned to 4.
Here's Caden Krause, the extra hitter. He's 0 for 1 on the day, walked his first time around, grounded to third, his second. And yet again, runner in scoring position for him, RBI opportunity as always. Biggerstaff misses in the dirt, blocked by Jacob Young. Marquez, imagine they call that a single and an error. That's the 4th of the day for the Lumberjacks.
I can see Ed Moffat's in the chat begging for a milkshake right now. Not sure what's going on with that.
Which one's Ed?
He's the one whose house we're living at.
Forgot, yeah.
Yeah.
3-0, catches the zone.
Yeah, he's asking for a vanilla with whipped cream, and he's saying make it a large. This is interesting.
Big fan of Stewart's here in upstate New York. In there for a strike. 3-1.
Also letting us know the Yankees are winning over Cincinnati. That's good to know.
Yankees have been hot recently. Lost to the White Sox yesterday, I believe, but lots of Yankee fans here in upstate New York, of course, as the 3-1 is in there for strike two, so counts full now to Kraus. Lots and lots of Yankee fans here, of course, but one thing I saw was when we went to Amsterdam, they took a lot of pride of the Yankees playing there that one time. Same thing here in Damaski Field, where they take a lot of pride in Babe Ruth, DiMaggio, and the Yankees playing here that one time. 3-2. Misses downstairs, ball 4. Runner on first and second now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third, but a lot of damage done so far, and the Outlaws are looking to continue to bring it on.
I'm going to think out loud here, but do you think we could get the Yankees to Hanson Aggregates Field in Boonville, New York?
Do you think we could do that today?
Right now, today?
Well, not today, but this year? Or is that what you're asking?
In general, do you think we could do it?
I don't think so. Here's Zach Rao, the left fielder, had an RBI double his first time around, flew out his second time. No, I'm not sure we could get them to, how far is the Bronx from Boonville? Probably 4 hours, maybe?
4.5, I'd guess.
Something like that. Gets a sword swing from Rao. Strike 2. 0-2 quickly. Now, we could get one maybe.
One Yankee?
You wouldn't take that?
I would take one.
Get Austin Wells over here,
We don't have any burritos here. What's he going to do?
He can rate our stadium food. Line drive, stopped by Negron. Saves a run by putting a glove on it. But a runner still advances. Each runner advances 90 feet. They'll call that an infield single for Zach Rao.
Yeah.
Negron, that was credit to even stopping that ball from getting to the outfield, but this is an unfortunate situation for Biggerstaff now.
Yeah, that's a tough play right there. That one, he had to backhand it with the glove, reaching over the other side. That's not a play you would expect him to make, but even him stopping it is a positive.
They ruled that an error?
They did. They ruled that an error.
That
somehow.
is unfathomable to me, especially as the home team. That is undoubtedly a hit. Biggerstaff, I guess he'll take that. But that, you can't expect a big leaguer to make that play, much less Elijah Negron is short. And he's got a good glove, don't get me wrong, but that ball was hit on the line, and I'm surprised he even got a glove on it to stop it. And especially as the home team here, where it kind of, not supposed to say that, but you kind of give your guys hits. That's a little interesting to me. But here's Maslow as the 1-0 pitch is not even close, ball 2, and Biggerstaff is 2 pitches away from walking in a run here.
He can't do that, obviously, but, with the lead at 4 runs, if Boonville want to get back into this, it has to stop here.
Shows bunt, pulls back, strike 1 nonetheless, 3-1's the count on the scoreboard.
We mentioned Biggerstaff as a guy who doesn't really walk a ton of batters. Of course, now he's come in and done that.
And right on cue, that's ball 4 to Maslow, so the lineup flips over, walks in a run. In to score is Fabio Marquez, the scorer now 8-4. They ruled that a hit now for the Oneonta Outlaws. I'm seeing now. They did change that to a hit, rightfully so, but now counts as an earned run for Biggerstaff if these other runs come around to score, and he's still got the bases loaded as the lineup flips over. It's Nolan Stark. First pitch in there, strike 1.
Yeah, Stark's a guy who's gotten on twice already today with 2 RBIs. You got to put a stop to the inning here, but this is a big ask to get, but it doesn't get much easier. He's the leadoff guy, and the heart of this order is coming up.
Biggerstaff needs an out here. 0-1, fouled towards us, kinda. Few kids with gloves there, no one gets close.
Some young fan, he almost made that catch. That was about a foot over his head.
He wasn't close to making that. If he can, I'm not gonna say that. 0-2, misses upstairs, ball 1. Looking at the sponsors on the Oneonta outfield wall, they have a Chobani sponsor.
That's
Evan,
impressive.
I know you're a fan of all yogurt. Chobani got to be somewhere up there for you.
Oh, yeah, I think it's top 3 for me, definitely.
Not sure I can name another yogurt company off the top of my head. 1-2 in there for strike 3. Lumberjacks finally get out of the bottom of the 5th, but not after allowing 4 runs. The score 4-9 here. Lumberjacks looking to dig themselves out of it in the top of the sixth. Brady Fox will Evan Sambita. See you after the break. Top of the sixth here at Damaski Field in Oneonta, New York. Still McNamee on the mound for the Outlaws. I'm sorry if you just heard me jump. There's some type of big bug on my scoreboard. Hopefully he'll get off if I shake it. Nope, I'll have to deal with him on there for a little bit. Zeb Swangam in for the Lumberjacks. First pitch upstairs. My partner, Evan Sambita, extremely grateful for him. He's making more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We are starving here in Oneonta. Shout out to the kind folks here at Damaski Field who not only brought us the ingredients to make PB&Js, but to let us eat them as Zeb Swangam winds the ball down the third base line, in there for a single, bobbled and left a little bit by Rao, but in there, and Swangam will stay at first. So leadoff single. He'll take that for sure. Swangam now on twice today. Came in for Tanner Ferguson, who was hit by a pitch, then pulled out of the game. Swangam comes in, walks, and grabs a single now. Here's Masai Marshall, who tripled his first at-bat and was an RBI at the time. Walked his second time around, did not come in to score a run, unfortunately. Here's an RBI opportunity for him here. McNamee has been out there for quite a while now. He came in back in the top of the third and has shut the door ever since, including with the runner on. It was Wyatt Laster who was on third with no outs, and he came in and ate that entire inning, gets credit for the top of the third, the fourth as well, the fifth, and then now he's completed 3 innings of work, looking for his fourth right here.
Yeah, he's been absolutely shut down so far today. I mean, there's been really no touching him. 4 strikeouts as well. I mean, Boonville Lumberjacks need to get through him.
2-0 pitch to Marshall, in there for strike one. Zeb Swang, of course, on first after he singled. Evan Sambita is back from the clubhouse. He comes with more PB&Js. Thank you, Evan. Ground ball is hit towards the Lumberjack dugout.
Yeah, I think this is the first game we've had pre-game food as well as post-game food.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that. Thank you to the kind folks here at Damaski Field who brought us PB&J supplies. It's not a lot, but it means a lot to the players and, well, to the social media guy and the director of broadcasting as well. 3-2, counts full now to Masai Marshall. Swanging at first. Has some speed. Takes a decently sized lead at first. Stays put. Marshall lines one into right field. That ball is down for at least one. Swangam moving to third. He gets the stop sign there. Oh, but runs through it, so he'll come in to score at third. Marshall also tries to take an extra 90 feet, and he's hosed at third, but he'll take an RBI double there. I'm not sure what happened on the base paths there, but Swangham blew a stop sign at third to come in to score. Marshall, I guess assuming the throw would be home, runs to third, but the cutoff man, who is Clark, throws to third instead and beat Marshall by 20 feet.
At least.
But an RBI for the Lumberjacks, and the score is now 5-9. That's the first that McNamee has given up, who is human now that we can see.
Yeah, first to third, impressive speed right there from Swangham.
First to home.
First to home, yeah. And Marshall's an important guy for this team. I mean, he's had a hit every game that he's been in the lineup since he reported to Boonville, and I mean, he's certainly taken a lot of the pressure off the arms of this team.
Smart guy, too, comes out of Northwestern. Never sent the application, figured it wasn't worth the $60 donation fee of getting a rejection letter. Here's Negron. 2-1 pitch in there, strike two. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 1 out here. No runners on. 5-9 is the score in the top of the 6th. Negron fan twice today. Goes down looking right there. Strike 3. That's his 3rd time today. In a little bit of a funk at the plate against the Outlaws.
Yeah, he was a guy that really didn't strike out a lot over the past week and a half, but it's been a rough game for him today. 2 swinging, 1 looking. Just not his best day at the plate, but guy who definitely will be back after this game.
Here's RJ Lopez. He's gotten on twice today. RBI single in the first, hit by pitch. In his last time around, he hits that one really well, the left center field, and that one is going to be in the gap. He's got at least 2. He comes into second base standing, and that's where he'll stop with a 2-out double here in the top of the 6th.
And Marshall getting gunned down hurts a little bit more. I mean, that would have been another run that could have cut this game down to 3, but regardless, another hot day at the plate for Lopez.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 now. Excuse me, 2 for 2 now, but he's been on base all 3 times, I should say. And that one, I mean, this ballpark plays deep. He crushed it. I mean, probably missed the wall by 15 feet, but absolutely had extra bases hitting all over it since the jump. Now here's Will Hill, center fielder from the University of Texas, who just transferred to Wharton County Community College, also in Dallas, Texas. Or excuse me, in the Dallas, Texas area. My Texas geography is about as good as my New York geography, which is non-existent.
Yeah, we were talking to him a little bit before he committed, like an hour before. And he didn't mention anything to us.
Like 20 minutes before. Didn't tell us.
Would have been nice to know.
I guess that's a decision that he, his family, and his loved ones, their opinion might matter a little more than the Boonville Lumberjack broadcasting crew. Nonetheless, I'm glad he's decided where he wants to go. He'd play a ton there. He'll tear up the Texas Community College circuit, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a big move for him. I mean, he's just going to get everyday at-bats. That was his number 1 focus going into this recruiting process, and ultimately trying to work his way back to the D1 level in a couple of years.
RJ Lopez on second. First pitch to Will Hill in there for strike 1. Sun has finally gone down here, 9:30 Eastern time here in central New York. The shift is on. Wow, I'm realizing the shift is on for Will Hill. Partially due to Clark holding Lopez on at second, but he's not getting back to his regular spot at second base.
No, there's a huge gap in between first and second, and also short and third. They know he's going to hit the ball up the middle if he makes contact on the ground.
1-1 pitch in there, strike 2 now, so McNamee 1 pitch away from 4 innings of 1-run ball. He's been a wizard on the mound for the Outlaws.
And you don't see the shift a lot in the PGCBL. I don't think there's that much scouting going on, but clearly Oneonta's done their homework.
Will Hill stays alive, fouls that one back, 1-2. remains the count. You know, in a fight between an Outlaw and a Lumberjack, got to be the Outlaw who takes that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Lumberjacks beat the Blue Sox, though.
I don't know if the Blue Sox have any fight in that.
1-2 to Will Hill. Swung on, popped up again. We'll do it again. Evan, you're experiencing the same thing I was mentioning while you were making us peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Bugs are on the equipment. There was I don't know what it was. Oh, it's right here. Do you know what that is?
No, that looks like a cricket. I don't even know.
I'm used to scorpions, man. I almost prefer scorpions to whatever is here in the New York.
That's a bad take, I think.
1-2 is skied into right field. Coming in on it is Duffy. He'll make a ranging play to ultimately grab that one and end the inning here in the top of the 6th. Lumberjacks grab 1, but still trail by 4. Scores 5-9 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Brady Foxwell alongside Evan Zambita. Lumberjacks Radio Network. We'll see you after the break. Bottom of the 6th here at Damascus Field in Oneonta, New York. Davon Abaga comes in for Spencer Beggarstaff, and kind of unusual. Beggarstaff usually goes at more than 1, but after what Coach Christian Griffin saw in the bottom of the 5th, he gets the pull, and it's Davon Abaga who comes in. He's got 4 appearances, 4 innings pitched, usually goes for an inning each time. Evan?
Yeah, I like the matchup here. Christian Griffin clearly sees this is a guy who threw last time out against Oneonta, went 2 innings pitched for just 1 earned run and 1 hit. If he can get something similar out of him here, that'll be good work from Abaga just to eat these innings and keep this game close. But yeah, I like the matchup here with these guys, and so does Christian Griffin.
Here's Matthew Meyer, the catcher now. Family Affair by Mary J. Blige is the walk-up song. That's a pretty good one. Could bob my head to that.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the first pitch from Abaga. Misses downstairs, ball 1. Abaga, in his 4 innings of work, has allowed 5 walks. Evan, that's a cause for concern, right? I mean, you don't want to be walking guys. And he's kind of a main suspect to doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just him. I think it's been a lot of players on this team, but especially coming out of relief in the back half of these games, keeping it close is so crucial so the bats have something to play for, and the walks are just killers.
Scores 5-9 here. Was 4-5 for a few innings there, but Outlaws broke away in the bottom of the 5th. As the 1-1 pitch misses outside, 2-1 now to the backstop. Evan, there wouldn't be any water in the clubhouse, would there?
I didn't see. I think there's a water fountain.
Check swing, foul ball, 2-1 now. I mean, peanut butter sandwich is good, but problem is they have peanut butter. And
Are you feeling parched right now?
Parched? I mean, I guess. Yeah, that's a good word, I guess. I would say thirsty, but, parched works too. 2-2 now to Meyer. In there, strike 3. Meyer knew it. Abaga did too. First batter here in the bottom of the 6th is retired. Good start for Abaga. Abaga pitches, also plays the infield. Is not hitting tonight, is pitching. He's had a few days off now.
Yeah, he hasn't played in quite a while. His last pitching appearance was the Utica game. That was almost 2 weeks ago now, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Played shortstop in their last contest against Glens Falls, but you said it hasn't pitched in a while, I should say, rather. Davon Abaga Devo, as they say. He's now facing new batter in PJ Strand, the center fielder. And Devo, he carries that camera around with him everywhere he goes. We've shouted him out before. He's got a little YouTube channel, Devo Day. We've been featured a few times. One of them was in dispute to whether or not a Philly cheesesteak should have lettuce on it. I think the second time was also involving food, on whether or not a pizza or a sub was the right choice. Ooh, off speed. Doesn't get the strike call, but freezes PJ Strand, but that's now 3-0 here to the 3-hole hitter.
I know the conversation on the Philly cheesesteak. The consensus was no, but I really don't mind it, to be honest.
I mean, we've been eating good here in New York. It's pretty much all I think about. Baseball and food.
Yeah, we were on the bus here, actually, and and you turned to assistant coach Trent Nash and said, well, if the game gets canceled, could we at least get some good food out here?
Is that so crazy?
I think so. I think, baseball's the priority, no?
Well, yeah, but if the game gets canceled, can we at least get some food? Come on. I don't think that's crazy at all. But here's Vincent Duffy, the right fielder out of Seton Hall. 4-hole hitter as well. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his first time around. Grounded into a first baseman 5-3. And laid down a bunt his last time around in that 5th inning where it seemed like everybody came around to score. On first base is PJ Strand. He took a 4-pitch walk. Duffy now even up in the count 1-1. Pretty quiet for a Friday here.
I almost forgot it was Friday.
1-1 grounded down the line, and a fair ball past Zeb Swingham in left field is Wyatt Lassiter, who throws it to the shortstop Negron. It's past him. It's past everyone. It's to the catcher Jacob Young, who finally fields it cleanly, but runners stay put. So on third base now, it's going to be PJ Strand. Vincent Duffy, credit him with a double.
Yeah, and they're lucky that PJ Strand didn't go home on that one, because I'm pretty sure he would have been safe, especially with the throw from Lassiter out and left. But
yeah, it was an interesting defensive setup. Negron came out. Swingham stays at third. Young had to come far off the catcher's or home plate to field it. Abaga had to move to home plate in case in case Strand did extend an extra 90 feet. Just Lumberjacks team, 4 errors on the day so far and counting. Been questionable for them, as there are now 3 of these bugs on my desk.
Well, they've kept switching the number back and forth. I don't know if that's counting or not counting the one that ultimately was called a hit off the glove of Negron, but interesting to see.
Fastball misses inside. It's Colton Penner now. 1-1 will be the count. Do we get a verdict on whatever these bugs are? One's on my computer, one's on my notebook.
I'm clean over here.
Wow.
Must be
I gotta bring
you.
them to your side then. 1-1 misses outside, 2-1. Abaga struggling a little bit after retiring the first hitter. Some standing around going on in the Boonville Lumberjacks bullpen. The Oneonta bullpen is to our left, has been dead silent. McNamee seems to be the answer for the Outlaws. 2-1 pitch in there, strike 2.
Yeah, that fastball, we could hear it over here. I mean, I think everyone heard that one hit the leather. That was loud, and that was in there.
Fastball's in the 90s, but prefers to hit instead. Still looking for his home this upcoming year. 2-2. in there for strike 3, freezes Colton Penner, who is upset and has a few words to the umpire. Lumberjacks dugout is fired up as they can now move off the infield grass where everybody was playing.
Yeah, I think you got to talk to the umpire right there just to save some face. Penner moved as if that slider was going to hit him in the back, and ultimately it curved in for the strikeout. Just maybe a little bit embarrassing on that one, but a great pitch from Abaga.
Clark, first pitch swinging, lines it up the middle. Both runs will come around to score. And that pauses the Boonville celebration. Clark will now try for 2 as the throw goes past the catcher Jacob Young, but he makes a play on it, throws to second, and get Clark, who tries to grab an extra 90 feet. But the damage is done. 6 runs combined in the last 2 innings for the Outlaws. The score now 5-11. Brady Foxwell, Evan Simbita on the Lumberjack Radio Network. We'll see you after. Top 7 here at Damasky Field in Oneonta, New York. Brady Foxwell alongside Evan Simbita. Lumberjacks were playing close to start the game, but Oneonta has seriously broken ahead in recent innings, score now 11-5. They have a 6-run cushion of support as McNamee has been dealing for the Outlaws. Here's Jacob Young, first pitch swing, fouls that one back, strike 1.
And it's just odd when you take a look at this team because we've said it before, the team is not 2-8 bad. If they lose tonight, they're not 2-9 bad. But it's just been a combination of a lot of factors that just really haven't gone their way. I mean, whether it be the walks or weak contact that ends up getting through the infield for hits, it hasn't seemed to go their way at all so far this year. That should have been a balk right there.
No. Jacob Young up to bat. Count now 1-1 to him. Fouls back the 1-1 offering. 1-2 now. Yeah, not 2-8 bad. And, when Masai Marshall first came to the team, I told him, "Hey, we're not 1-7 bad." Was the record at the time. I told him we're not 1-7 bad here, as Young goes down on strikes. I told him we're not 1-7 bad, and he actually didn't even know that was the team record at the time. But they went on to win that game against Saugerties, moving them to 2-7, as they had what would be their easiest game of the year so far in Glens Falls. Well, that game they got run ruled 20-4. So, as much as we can say, we're not actually this bad, what Aristotle says is that you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. Well, what the Lumberjacks repeatedly do is walk guys, strike out, and lose, as that first pitch to Kanias Davis misses downstairs. So unless something changes, we can stay optimistic that, the Lumberjacks, they really aren't this bad, but their lineup looks completely different since the last time they very closely played Oneonta with Jonathan Tetzloff, who, may he get well soon, his arm's still in pain. Of course, his rotator cuff is getting in some issues, but Lumberjacks arguably have better arms, better players, yet still continue to lose, as they are now down 6 here. 1-1 to Davis. Upstairs, ball 2. So what I'm looking to see is some real change out of Lumberjacks before we continue to die on the hill that, oh, no, they'll figure it out eventually. Evan? Pitch in the dirt, ball 3.
I think I am firmly on that hill. I mean, when you take a look at the scoreboard tonight, 5 runs isn't an exorbitant amount, but the Lumberjacks have hit well. They've got 7 hits in this game. 11 runs on 11 hits for the Outlaws is a lot.
3-1 in there, strike 2 for Kanias Davis.
This team is not that bad. When you look up at the board and you see 4 errors, that's probably your main issue. But when you go look at practice,
ball 4 to Kanias Davis.
This team is amazing at fielding, and you see it in flashes as well. We've seen a lot of heads-up plays out there on the field today. It's just been momentary lapses of, call it what you want, communication, judgment, skill. But this team just isn't that bad. I refuse to believe that if they drop to 2-9, which I really hope they don't, they're 2-9 bad.
Well, that brings up Wyatt Lassiter, the left fielder. Flew out his last at-bat, hit it hard. This one he also hits hard, and that ball is fair. Moving from first to third is Davis. He'll be in there standing. Moving to second is Wyatt Lassiter with a one-out double here to move Davis to third.
And kind of proving my point here, this team has bats. I guess it gets a little shakier when you look over at the arms and you start to see a little bit more of lackluster performances. It's hard for the team to win when the opposition is putting up more than 10 runs every night. But, I mean, still, when you take a look at this team, they're just like 2 or 3 good arms away from being probably with a 500 or better record.
Well, here's Michael Clarkson now, looking to prove Evan right. He's got 2 runners on now, and Clarkson is supposed to be a premier hitter on the team. He homered in the last home game against Saugerties, I believe it was. He's got 2 on right here. Kanias Davis on third, and it's Wyatt Lassiter on second. He struck out twice today and grounded into a double play. Not his best day at the plate. Now is the opportunity to redeem himself. Ground ball to the shortstop, who fields it cleanly. Throws on to first. His throw is offline, but he tags Clarkson. As they had it in time, the run scores. He'll get credited with the RBI. Score now 6-11. Lassiter stays put at second.
And this is when the bats really need to pick up the arms. I mean, Marcus Smith is a guy who, not a play that was an error, but certainly cost the Lumberjacks at least a base or 2. Could have been a run on a ball that was hit out to him in right field. This is when you need to pick your team up and make up for those mistakes.
Marcus Smith, you mentioned it, up to bat right now. First pitch misses inside. They back pick Lasso at second. He is safe, however. 1-0 the count here. Top of the 7th, running out of time for the Lumberjacks, who are 7 outs away from falling to 2-9 as we've been speaking. Lumberjacks not too far out of a playoff spot, however, but in order to make the playoffs, you got to beat teams and not just hypothetically stay in the race. Pitch to Smith, swung on and missed. Big swing, but swings right through it. Count moves to 1-1.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity tomorrow against the Glens Falls Dragons. That's a doubleheader at Hanson Aggregates Field. That's where you really got to capitalize on a team that really, I don't think, should have mercy ruled you. I don't even know if they should have beat you last time out.
No. You know, the Lumberjacks, in similar fashion to the Glens Falls game, played Oneonta really close. It was 4-5 there for a while. Lumberjacks should have tied the game up with Lassiter on third. McNamee, all credit to him. He's been incredible tonight. Lumberjacks should have tied the game at that moment, but didn't. And since then have kind of let it slip away from them. RBI opportunity here for Marcus Smith. Knock on wood. I don't want to say they're completely out of it. No, of course not. But the Glens Falls game, it was tied 4-4 early. And then, I'll tell you, Evan, you were doing a solo broadcast that game as that one's in there for strike 2 against Smith. You're doing a solo broadcast that game because I was in the field doing collecting B-roll in case they won. Well, I was doing that until about the 4th inning when Masai Marshall hit a 2 RBI triple. Since then, there was not one highlight in that game worth posting on the social media. 2-2 to Smith. Just misses outside, 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, that was a rough game for them, but if you really think about it, they were hanging in that one until the 3rd inning. Going into the top of the 4th, it was 4-4. It was a tie ball game, and it never really should have got out of hand.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm saying that's the team they should have beat. I'm just saying you got to hang with teams longer than the 4th inning. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Marcus Smith goes down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. third time, I should say. We head to the bottom of the 7th, where the Oneonta Outlaws will look to add some more insurance. Scores 6-11. Brady Fox will 11. Simbita. See you after the break. Bottom of the 7th here. Demaski Field, the home of the Oneonta Outlaws. Lumberjacks trail 6-11 currently. Davon Abaga out for his second inning of work. In for the Oneonta Outlaws is Fabio Marquez. He's playing third base tonight, usually does. Marquez looking for some extra insurance runs for the Outlaws. Lumberjacks, as Evan says and believes, can come back. I hope to see the same. As long as McNamee stays on the mound, the Lumberjacks bats have been silent. However, there is some action in the Oneonta bullpen directly to our left.
And I believe that was
on that as the game continues.
I think that was McNamee's last inning of work, as it looks like whoever it is to our left is done warming up.
Potential 6-out close here. Off speed misses outside, 2-1 to Marquez.
I mean, I guess when you get to this part of the ball game, you got to start thinking, if you're the manager, how many arms do you want to expend, especially in a game that's 5 runs deep for Oneonta.
And Abaga wasn't bad that last time. Gave up a few hits, of course, but might as well keep him out there, at least for this batter, as the count moves to 3-1.
Yeah, there's no movement in the Boonville bullpen. Abaga's got to stay out there and figure it out and hopefully keep it as close as it is right now.
3-1 to Marquez, fouled back, 3-2.
One thing we did hear from Elijah Negron, who we talked to pregame, was that being on defense for so long has really hurt this team, especially with all the walks that pitchers have given up.
Skied to the second baseman, Davis, who's under it to make the first out of the inning. Marquez jam shot. Abaga will take that for out number 1.
But he mentioned to us that taking 300 prep steps on 300 pitches just because they're out there on defense for so long has just been killing this team, especially at the plate. When you're out there for an hour on defense and you're still trailing and need to get back into a game, it's really hard to do that on offense.
Here's Caden Krause, the extra hitter. First pitch in there, strike 1. Abaga deals yet again. Misses outside, ball 1.
And Krause is a guy who had only walked once previously before this game. He's walked twice here today. This is a guy the Lumberjacks need to attack, but they've really done the opposite so far in this one.
They've technically limited the walks, but in doing so have allowed the barrels. It's a chilly night here, 59 degrees. Feels like 51, says the weather app, yet doesn't hurt the Oneonta hands. They've been hitting all night long. Lumberjacks have 8 hits to their 11, as that one hits Krause. He'll get on. Lumberjacks have 8 hits to the Outlaws' 11. However, that's resulted in 11 runs for the Outlaws, and the Lumberjacks have only plated 6. You know, the third number on the scoreboard, arguably as important as hits is the errors, and the Lumberjacks have 4 compared to the Outlaws 2. As here's Zach Rao, the left fielder, up. He's got 1 on. Excuse me. First pitch in there. Excuse me. Misses inside, ball 1.
And the control for Abaga, it hasn't been as big as an issue tonight, but you're kind of starting to see it flare up with the hit by pitch right there, and some of these balls have been way outside. He really just needs to calm it down up there.
Still his game to finish. That might have been a balk. I'm not sure Abaga ever came set. Hope someone mentions that to him, because I think if the umpire sees that, he'll call him on that. Are there balks in the PGCBL? Gotta be, right?
I would have to believe so.
Sure, this is high enough level baseball that they call that. Come set. We're good. Ground ball to the right side. And fielded by Davis. Throws on to Negron for 1. They throw to Lopez, but he's safe there. So they get the out. Replace the runner for Kraus to Rao at first base. And it's Augie Maslow, the shortstop now. Nice Davis, who you said that's his original position, is in the infield. He looks pretty smooth there, besides the 1 error that occurred earlier in the game, and 2 really if you count him not covering a bunt. What do they call that? Fielder's choice in the top of the first. He's been pretty good with what's been hit at him. Also pitches, also plays the outfield.
Yeah, I mean that one throw that he made was. It was a tough one, if we're being honest. I mean, he was at third in foul territory, ranging out of play, and had to make that throw on the run.
Yeah, it's one that you just got to pocket.
I mean, they were making those throws in practice the other day. They were, working on those throws that were ranging out of bounds, and he was making a decent amount of those.
Slide step from Abaga in there, called strike, but goes past the catcher Young, so Rao moves to second now.
And it's just those little unforced errors that I think have been killing this team. It's shooting yourself in the foot, hitting a guy with the pitch, and then a wild pitch in the next at-bat. There should be no one on. This inning should be over, but it's still going on.
Yeah, pass ball right there allows for the same effect as a double, as that one is skied into center field. Ball will get down. The runner Rao will head towards the plate. Hill's throw is on line, but late, and it's an RBI single, and from Maslow, who will extend to second because of the throw to home, and Evan right on cue. That ball doesn't go past you. Oh, I got to correct you. You said a wild pitch. That wasn't a wild pitch. That was a pass ball from Jacob Young. I'm not sure if there was a mix-up of signals, but by allowing Rao to get to second base right there, he comes around to score there. Hill, good throw at home, but there was never a chance of getting him out there. So
yeah, I mean, runners were going with 2 outs as well, but again, it's just the hit by pitch that never should have happened, and a run that really shouldn't be on the board. But that's really been what's happened all year long for Boonville. It's the reason why they're 2-8.
Lineup flips over. Here's Nolan Stark, fouls off the first one towards us.
I mean, when you really look at this team, if you can stop the unforced errors, I think this team would be at least 4-6, at least.
Oh, went in there, strike 2, 0-2 to the leadoff hitter Stark.
But you said it earlier, they're not 4-6, they're 2-8 right now, and the errors continue to persist. So until they fix it, it's just a what if.
Yeah, and when you head to Amsterdam, a team that is filled with seriously premier top talent who produces top draft picks, a loss is okay there, honestly. I don't want to say you just bend over and take it, really, but you want to go out and you want to give your best effort when you go to teams like this, however.
Yeah,
when you go to Oneonta and you can't play competitive baseball here, or go to Glens Falls and don't play competitive baseball, that's the scenario where I get worried.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got to be strategic if you're head coach Christian Griffin to finish out this season. I mean, if you want to hunt for a playoff spot, you just have to be better than Utica, Glens Falls, and Oneonta. I think they're probably a better ball club than Oneonta. They just haven't showed it.
Ground ball right side, fielded by Davis, throws on to Lopez at first. We'll head to the top of the 8th, score 12-6 here like a curveball. In Oneonta, Brady Fox 11, Simbita, Lumberjack Radio Network. See you after the break. 6 outs left for the Lumberjacks. 6 runs scored so far, but down by 6 currently. Is Zeb Swangham's job to climb out of this hole for the Lumberjacks. McNamee's still on the mound for the Outlaws. And why not? He's been dealing. Why even waste an arm?
It's going to be a tough one to climb out of, but, I mean, this team's done a lot this year. Wouldn't surprise me if they come back and win this one.
It would surprise me. Zeb Swangham's first pitch to Zeb Swangham inside strike 1.
I guess it's kind of just belief in this team. Maybe it's because we're closer to it. Like, I watch my Angels every year suck, and I know when they suck, but I honestly just don't think this team is as bad as their record is. I feel like we've been saying it for over a week now that it has to flip at some point, but it just hasn't so far. I hope it comes soon, though.
You mentioned the Angels. I'm wondering if divine intervention is what the Lumberjacks need.
It wouldn't hurt at this point. I think a team prayer circle before the game would do them some good.
Yeah, we saw the Outlaws had that near our side as that 1-2 pitch to Swangham just misses outside. Big league take. We saw that on the Oneonta side. You know, they're succeeding to play. They're playing pretty well today. And, you know, this might sound like hating or maybe like sounding like a homer for the Lumberjacks as Swangham lines that one to the second baseman Stark, who throws on to first for the out. But I don't think that there's been like a guy on the Outlaws besides McNamee. Like pitching, he shut the Lumberjacks down. But I couldn't look at the Outlaws at my scorebook and look at the Outlaws hitters and say, "Oh yeah, this dude wrecked the game for them."
That's kind of my point. It's just been errors by the Lumberjacks that have gifted teams wins. Oneonta's a good team. They're in a playoff spot right now, and they've played well. They're in that spot for a reason. But they're not as good as beating this team by 6 runs. I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe that that team is as good as that, and I don't think they are.
Well, Masai Marshall just called time. It wasn't granted, yet he still stepped out of the box, but misses outside for ball 1. Team chance good take. 5 outs left for the Lumberjacks after Swangham's ground out. McNamee staying on the mound, taking his time between pitches. Pitch in there, strike 1. Marshall's had himself quite a day at the plate.
If you're head coach Christian Griffin, I guess the conversation goes to what do you even tell your team? Because they've been losing since the beginning of the year, and what can he really tell them at this point that he hasn't already said?
1-1 misses downstairs.
I mean, you can only tell your team so much. I mean, going back to the Angels, back when Joe Madden was the manager and they had that 14-game losing streak, he ended up shaving his head and getting a mohawk. Ultimately, he got fired that morning. But how can you just give this team a different look, say different things to get them going?
You know, Evan, I don't think I watch enough Angels baseball to know what you mean. What happened with Joe Madden?
Joe Madden.
As Masai Marshall pops out in a foul territory.
This was back when the Angels had Ohtani, and they were losing for over 2 weeks straight. And Joe Madden thought to get his ball club going, he had to go and get a mohawk. So he shows up to work the next day after losing game number 14 with his mohawk, and only to be told by general manager Perry Manassian that he's been fired. So the team never saw his mohawk. You know, they never really got going under his leadership. He was fired, but he did get that mohawk for no reason.
Keep it? Here's Elijah Negron, first pitch swings and misses.
I don't know how you don't keep a mohawk. You can't undo the haircut. I guess you could go bald, but
yeah, I mean, who knows? Sweat. Negron skies that one into left center, but coming in on it is Rao, who makes the play. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Lumberjacks 3 outs away from falling to 2-9. Brady Foxwell Evanson beat us. See you after the break. Lo Wen-Shing taking the mound for the Boonville Lumberjacks, and Davon Abaga's day is done. He did his job, came out there. 2 innings, allowed 3 runs ultimately, but not much you can do in that situation. Here's Lo Wen-Shing. He pitched on Wednesday as well against Glens Falls. He's back out there to eat some more innings for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, it was a decent appearance for him against Glens Falls. 1 2/3 innings pitched for a 1 earned run, but ultimately on the year, his numbers are not trending in the right direction. 1.8 innings pitched for over a 9 ERA, but we know how talented this guy is. He's a right-handed pitcher out of Taiwan. He's going to get going at some point, but it just hasn't happened yet.
First pitch lined right towards us, actually. I would have made a play on that if there wasn't a fence here. Stepping in is Matthew Meyer, who I feel like has led off the last 3 innings. Am I going crazy?
No. 4th, 7th, or 6th and 7th.
I am right.
Or
He's
8th.
Has he literally led off the last 3 innings?
Not the last 3, but 3 innings. 3 every other innings.
Yeah, I mean, kind of goes to show us Oneonta teams can consistently batting around.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Put a stop to it, I guess.
I mean, that's what you hope they do. I assume that McNamee's day is done now.
Yeah, he came over to us and asked how many strikeouts he had. I'm assuming that's only something you would do after you're done.
1-1 misses upstairs. 2-1. No words.
No.
2-1. And there's strike 2. You know, when we were talking about food earlier, do you think after yet another crushing loss that we're going to stop for food on the way home or no?
No, I think I saw some pizzas in the clubhouse when I was in there making sandwiches, so I think that's probably our food for the night.
Swing and a high fly ball to right field. Marcus Smith is under it, comes in and makes the play. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's PJ Strand up next. His 5th at bat of the game.
The one thing I will say, just being around this team so often, is you wouldn't know that they're a 2-8 ball club just by being around this team. The vibes in the clubhouse are great, which you wouldn't expect for a team entrenched in last place in the East. But
entrenched.
Really, they've been acting fine. I mean, outside of the bus ride home after a loss, this team has been best friends on and off the field.
Goldfish memory, you could say.
Yeah. Lacrosse Finance Segway Pipeline, you could almost say.
Whatever that means. First pitch in there, strike 1 for Strand. Lo Wen-Shing does it again, and in there, strike 2.
The funny thing about the PGCBL is, especially the East this year, is the East is not a very good division. You've got Amsterdam up at the top. You've got Saugerties, who's the defending champions. They're going to do well. Outside of that, it's a pretty tightly contested division.
Yeah, I got to say, Mohawk Valley, a team that the Lumberjacks are, well, I guess they're now 0-3 to. That team, you know, I don't want to sound salty or anything like that. Nothing jumps off the page from the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs, in my opinion.
No, nothing really.
Ground ball. The ground fields it cleanly. He throws on to first out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th.
But that's a team that really gets you when you're not thinking about it. They've got 2 of the best
Evan, if I can
backstops.
pause you. While going around the horn, the Lumberjacks just threw that ball into the outfield. I mean, you know what's? It's the little things. You know what I mean? Like it really, like, come on, man. While you're down 6 in the bottom of the 8th, after Negron makes a nice play, throws on to first, gets the out. We can't be throwing the football into the infield during the infield toss around, man. That can't happen. Man, sorry. Continue.
Yeah. Mohawk Valley have 2 of the best catchers in this league, in Jaden Santiago and Joe Crenshaw. I mean, those are 2 guys at the plate and behind the dish are phenomenal. Probably the 2 best catchers of any team in this league. And, I mean, that's where it all starts. But they've got a sneaky good team. They just beat you when you're not looking.
Here's Vincent Duffy, potentially the last hitter of the day for the Oneonta Outlaws. First pitch in there for strike one.
But I do agree with you. Boonville's been in every single game they've played against Mohawk Valley, who are safely in third place. They're about to take second over Saugerties. Saugerties, another team that they've beat so far this year. I mean, they're only 2 games out of a playoff spot, which is hilarious considering they're 2-8. But
the reason that I still hold hope for the Lumberjacks really is because 2-9, you know, any good team can go through a 2-9 stretch throughout the season. It just looks worse because it's to start the season.
Yeah.
But if this was happening in July, where the Lumberjacks were going 2-9, we wouldn't be having these same questions on whether or not they could compete with anyone. Like, of course they can.
yeah,
But the problem is that it's 2-9 while everyone else is jumping out to good starts. I have to imagine that the Lumberjacks will smooth it out, come July, which I guess is coming up pretty quickly now. I have to imagine the Lumberjacks will start winning some games. But 2-9 to start the season is why I'm so fearful for how the season's going.
Yeah, I mean, that happened to the team last year in Boonville. Is they got off to a really hot start, but then in the middle of July, they kind of just went cold and lost a ton of games in a row. And that ultimately, it made it harder for them to reach the playoffs. They lost double-digit games in a row. But it just looks worse for this team because it's at the beginning. If the hot start comes in the middle and they still finish 500 with a playoff spot, who really cares? But ultimately, at this point in the season, it hasn't been great for them, and it's just they need to improve.
Ground ball from Duffy, fouled off his foot, counts 2-2.
But like we've seen flashes where they've dominated teams over a period of innings when they scored 14 unanswered against Utica or beat Saugerties pretty comfortably, I would say, at home. This is a good ball club that just hasn't put together too many full game performances.
I think tomorrow is what Lumberjack fans should look forward to. Brady Fox will have some beat a game, of course, still going on. We thank you. We thank those of you who are listening currently. We seriously appreciate that, taking the time with us on the road environment. Tomorrow is the game that you should have circled. We have a doubleheader against a team that the Lumberjacks should beat. They lost 20-4 on Wednesday to that same team. Don't let that fool you. That was an uncompetitive game. Lumberjacks had given up in the 5th inning. That is not a reflection of what those games tomorrow should look like in a home environment on a Saturday in Boonville, New York. A doubleheader opportunity as a bug flies into my face. Doubleheader opportunity tomorrow. Lumberjacks have to sweep. I would not be content with a 1-1 split tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I would not. They have to sweep tomorrow. This is their best opportunity to play a team that does not jump off the page. The arms that the Lumberjacks lost to on Wednesday were nothing. They did not have an arm better than the Lumberjacks do. There's no way, as Vincent Duffy takes ball for him.
The interesting thing about the Dragons is they're the only team in the PGCBL East that is made up exclusively of players that live in the area. They don't reach outside of Glens Falls to recruit their players. It's all commuter players. This is a team that is sourced strictly from ball players that grew up in the area.
Ground ball to Negron, backhand, kicks off his glove, tough play. Not sure how they'll rule that. They call it an error. Not too generous of a home team.
No, I think that was an error for sure. That one definitely not too kind.
Tough play.
But yeah, Glens Falls, it's a lot of SUNY guys. It's a lot of arms that, in theory, on paper, shouldn't be able to compete with this Boonville team. But they absolutely killed them last time out. And you just got to show them that you're the better team.
Well, Evan, the reason I'm excited for tomorrow is because, we call this the Brady Glaze Fest. Jackson Baptist has been the savior of the Lumberjacks so far. Their only 2 wins come from games that he's pitched, and he's by far been the best pitcher. I mean, his 3/4 delivery with a 90s fastball, he carves up hitters undoubtedly. He's going tomorrow. He's had quite a day of rest. I'm not sure if it's game 1 or game 2, he's going tomorrow. Also going tomorrow is Logan Brock. That is your 1 and your 2, respectively. And they have healthy bullpen arms for sure. As that one is lined into center field, Will Hill will field it. No throw at home as Duffy is held at third. Bases loaded now for the Outlaws. But they have their number 1 and number 2 arm going. This is back-to-back games where they're getting live ABs. The players are getting to hit. They're seeing pitchers. They'll come off a lot. I'm hoping that Coach Christian Griffin is upset tonight and that he yells at him or whatever it is, that they get 2 wins tomorrow. Because 4-9, that looks so much better than 3-10 if they split tomorrow. or God forbid, I'm not even gonna throw it out there. They can't lose both tomorrow. They have their number one in Jackson Baptist, their number two in Logan Brock. 7-inning games. They don't even have to hold on for 9 innings. They just have to hold on for 7. Lumberjacks, tomorrow, when the day hits Sunday and we're in church that morning, we'll be thinking about, wow, 4-9 really doesn't seem too bad, and they'll be half a game back from the the Outlaws, the Blue Sox. They'll probably jump Glens Falls, but Lumberjacks looks bad tonight, but I am seriously hopeful for tomorrow. Now, if this doesn't happen tomorrow, broadcast tomorrow, Evan, I don't know what I'll do. Because 2-10 would be abysmal.
Just got to keep.
2-11 would be abysmal.
You just got to keep that faith, I guess.
Would you still keep faith if they got swept tomorrow?
It would be tough, I would say, but
2-11.
But this is there's so many good players on this team that I just refuse to believe that they will go down A, without a fight, or B, go down sorry. I mean, when you take a look at roster construction, this is a top 3 team in the PGCBL East, undisputedly. We talked about that before the year, back with all of the coaches. This was a roster that should be in the top 3, and on paper should probably be in the top 2. This is the team that will start winning games at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and I think that when is going to be tomorrow.
Beautiful. 1-2 to Fabio Marquez.
I really think you start looking ahead, especially if you win 2 tomorrow, regardless of looking at your 1 and your 2 arms both being gone. You've got Utica on Sunday, a team that you've already beat, and Mohawk Valley at home on Monday, a team that you've been hanging in there at every game with them. I know this is a lot of wishful thinking here, but going into these next 3 days and gaining 4 wins is possible for this Lumberjacks team. It's going to be a stretch. It's going to be tough. But that's what Christian Griffin wants this team to do. This is a lot of D1 guys, a lot of guys that have played a lot. They need to get down and get dirty. They need to show them something and get these wins, and this is the next 3 days. It's going to be crucial for their season.
2-2 to Duffy, swung on, lined at Davis, who flips to second for Negron, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Score 6-12. Lumberjacks have their last chance here in the top of the 9th. Brady Foxwell, Evan Simbita, the Lumberjack Radio Network. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the Lumberjack Radio Network. Brady Foxwell alongside Evan Simbita. Lumberjacks 3 outs away from falling to 2-9, as we've been mentioning all throughout the broadcast. It's RJ Lopez due up as a train is passing by in Oneonta. Wow, that's kind of cool. Train is passing by. still out there for the Outlaws is Braden McNamee. I hope you guys can hear me. I imagine you can. That's really cool, actually. A full train passing through the city. Lots of railroads here in upstate New York as pitch to RJ Lopez misses outside.
Yeah, and the other Oneonta logo, you can see a train going through the middle of the logo. I'm to assume that train right there is why. Obviously, that's not the one we have up on the screen, but the one on their official website has a train going through the O.
You know, I gotta say, the Outlaws logo is a little interesting to me.
Why is that?
It doesn't look like an outlaw. It looks like some type of animal. Like I wouldn't look at. Wait, can you pull a logo up for me? Like I don't see it and think, oh, that's an outlaw. It looks like some type of, like a raccoon or like something like that. Like it looks like a bill instead of a hat.
I think that's pretty clearly an outlaw holding a baseball bat.
Is it? I don't know.
You see the hat, the eye, the mask, and then
I'm
the two
a bigger
hands.
fan of the Lumberjack logo, I gotta tell you.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I think the Lumberjack logo is awesome.
2-2 to RJ Lopez misses upstairs, 3-2. Yeah, I like it with the train going through. That's pretty cool. Well, is it still going? Wow.
It's still going.
Yeah. Does that throw off the pitcher at all? I don't know.
Maybe the hitter.
Maybe. I feel like hitter's more locked in. 3-2. Oh, strike 3, and that's... I don't know about that, but down 6 in the top of the 9th. I guess you got to be going up there swinging, so RJ Lopez goes down on strikes.
There's been an arm in the Oneonta bullpen for like 5 innings now, and it's still the same pitcher out on the mound. I don't think he's getting in this game.
Here's Will Hill. First pitch swinging, skies it to the catcher, Myers, who makes the play just in front of home plate. 2 outs quickly here for the Lumberjacks. McNamee nearing a 6-out. Well, not a save situation, but, a 6-inning save situation. Not literally a save, of course, but the game was 4-5 when he came in. He's allowed 2 runs in 6 innings. Lumberjacks have looked helpless at the plate, despite a few barrels, few and far in between. Jacob Young fouls that one off.
I think helpless. I think helpless is a little bit cruel. They've scored some runs on him. They've got some decent hits. I mean, a couple errors on the base paths haven't helped, but I think they've held their own. I mean, certainly they haven't been good, but I don't think helpless is accurate.
Slow roller to the first base bag, and that'll do it here from Oneonta. The Lumberjacks lose and fall to 2-9. This is the time where I would, go through maybe the stats of the game or any positives or whatever. But Evan, I don't have it tonight. I guess we've just went through the last few innings talking.
You know what?
About
I'll
that,
do it. I'll do it for you, Brady. I think this team put up a decent fight tonight. This was not a good performance by any stretch of the imagination, but they had some decent hits. They had some guys that put the bat on the ball, some extra base hits here tonight. They struck out a lot. They didn't get a lot of walks, and they walked a lot of batters on the other side of things. But ultimately, if you're this ball club, you just got to keep pressing through. And, the better days will be here at some point. This roster is too good to keep losing at the rate that they have been. And you've got an opportunity within the next 3 days to get 4 wins against ball clubs that you can compete with. This is the stretch of the season that I think is going to be the most crucial for the Lumberjacks. If you go out there and win 2 games tomorrow, you're right back on track. You go beat Utica on Sunday, that's 3 wins in 2 days, and then you've got 2 showdowns against Mohawk Valley, one on Monday, one on Wednesday. You've hung in with this team every single time you've played them, which has been 3 times this year. That's a big sample size. We know they can compete with this team. This season is far from over. They're 2 games, well, I guess 3 now, out of a playoff spot. I just don't believe, looking at this roster and looking at what they've done so far, the better days have to come for this ball club. The players will get going. The coaching staff will get going. But this team will start winning games eventually. There's no doubt in my mind. It just is a matter of when, truly not of if.
As Frank Sinatra's theme from New York, New York plays behind us, I gotta think a more fitting song for the Lumberjacks is That's Life. Where got to accept it for what it is. It's 2-9 is ugly, but we'll be back on the broadcast tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have you the times on Instagram and Facebook tomorrow. We'll keep you updated for Game 1 and Game 2 of the doubleheader. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brady Foxwell alongside Evan Simbita. I don't have a closer.
No?
Jack's on top. See you
Have a
tomorrow.
great night.
That's it.